Couldn't catch me, I be moving fast. Call me a shooting star. Let 'em know who you are. Flying up in a bar. Wish on a star. Time to show 'em who's in charge. Call me a shooting star. Shooting stars.
Didn't even get to bronze.
I'm moving too far. Get to glass. You're looking at a shooting star. Got more than a couple of people going mad. I swear they're rooting hard. Tell them I be big in the game like she went and got them breast implants. I said I'm moving too fast. Didn't even get a glance. I'm ready to eat up track like I'm seated in a restaurant. If you had swag like mine, you know it's best to flaunt. We aren't hating because you aren't. Shining like it's neon. Rock like kings of Leon. Shooting stars across the galaxy. I stand out, so don't be mad at me. Infiltrate, I'm with my strategy. When I turn up, then I just have to leave. Shooting stars across the galaxy. I stand out, so don't be mad at me. Infiltrate, I'm with my strategy. When I turn up, then I just have to leave. Yeah, shoot. Yeah, shoot. Yeah, shooting. Yeah, shooting shots. Shooting stars.
Didn't even get to bronze.
Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away? Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away?
Good evening, everyone. If you're from the UK, if not, good afternoon or good morning, depending what part of the world you're from. We might as well just run a full-time TV station. We just go live non-stop. It's just gone crazy. But here we are. We're going to have a chat. We're going to, there's quite a few things to talk about, which is why I wanted to set up the stream. But let me say hello to the usual suspects. My partners in crime. We've got Iggy, Prince. How you doing, Iggy? You all right? Good evening. Good Saturday night.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good Saturday night. Yeah, I had a lovely evening. Come back. I just saw the second half of the Bayern Munich game. And yeah, here I am talking with you guys. What better way to spend a Saturday night, eh?
I don't know why that just came up on the screen. Whoops. Mari, how you doing, man? You all right?
I'm doing good. Like Iggy, I just watched the game, the Bayern game, and Saturday afternoon here. It's really, really hot. But other than that, I'm doing okay. Just a little excited for tomorrow, our first game. I always get excited for the new season, so come on, you Spurs.
Seems like Bayern Munich dominated possession, had more shots, had double the amount of passes, better passing accuracy. It looks like they were the better team, but one team took chances.
They missed some big chances on the first half. They missed some big chances.
I don't think they were the better team. They had a lot of the ball. They had a lot of chances, but Leipzig actually played really well.
If Kane had those chances in the first half, I think it would have been a different story. But
Definitely.
I agree.
Yeah.
But look, Danny Olmo almost got a hat trick.
Yep.
He did.
So
He did score a hat trick.
can't argue it.
No.
Can't argue it.
Listen, fair play. They won the cup final. And do you know what? It's hilarious because I was chatting to my Arsenal mates who accosted me today saying, Harry Kane's going to win his first trophy today. It only took him 24 hours. And I said, yeah, but if he loses, then you're going to say, there you go. He's a bottle job. So,
Or even
if he
worse,
loses
the Spurs curse.
Yeah, exactly. If he loses, Spurs curse. If he wins, Spurs in the mud. So either way, we come out a bit bad. But as Maz said to me earlier on in WhatsApp, we're in the mud. Whatever happens. So Maz,
just need to know when we're going to be out of the mud. That's like permanently in there. All good, man. Good weekend. Looking forward to tomorrow.
Do you remember that game when you were kids called Stuck in the Mud? Did you ever play that at school? Stuck in the Mud?
No.
You know that game? If someone touches you, you got to freeze until someone unlocks you.
Yeah.
We at my school we called it Stuck in the Mud. If someone touches you, it's like you're stuck in the mud. You can't move. So literally, it's like we're stuck in the mud. Anyway. I'm going off one here. It's good to see you all. Before we start tonight's show, I just want to give a massive, massive big up to Everton football fans for this amazing banner. Believe Dele Alli. We're with you, Dele. Together we are strong. I thought that was a nice touch, man. I don't know. What do you guys make of it? I thought it was a nice touch. I thought it was
class. I saw it. Class. Pure class. Good job, Everton.
First time I've seen it. I haven't seen the highlights of the game, but no, it's the first time I'm seeing it here, guys. So yeah, listen, that's what fans do, man. They're supposed to have your back, and you know, it's listen, Everton fans, man. I don't know, Liverpool fans will disagree, but Everton fans are like they're really real proper fans, man. They are proper fans. So big up to everyone involved that set that up.
Listen, up north, they tend to be a more active fan base. They seem to be more engaged with
mindset.
With the football team, as opposed to down south, we're a bit more cheese, wine, champagne. We're a little bit on the coastline. If you go to the south coast, it's like up north. It's that middle bit. It's basically London. It's just London.
Just break it down. It's not quite the Midlands now. They're a different breed. It's not quite the South. It's not quite. It's just London. Just say that. Yeah, just London, man. It's just London.
It's just London, man. Listen, big up to everyone in the chat. There's almost 300 people. We've only been going live 8 minutes. Unbelievable. Thank you all. There's too many of you
guys.
Press the like, subscribe.
There's so many of you in the comments. I just want to say thank you for joining us. And if you've got any questions, any comments, put them in. And as the show goes on, we'll go for as many as we can. Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about Harry Kane. We're going to talk about the Spurs Supporters Trust. We're going to talk about the match day scores from today. We're going to talk about Son. Son is the official captain, the vice captains. What's going on, Eric Dyer? I believe there might be a mutiny. I've got some insider information to share with you guys today. Make of it what you want. I'm not an ITK. Just going to share it with you.
Oh, yeah.
Comments and some
that's as ITK as you can get.
Pundits.
I've got inside news. That's as ITK as you can get. What's an ITK?
This isn't the most reliable of insiders, though. It's hit or miss. It's hit or miss. So, but anyway, look, to start things off with, I just want to say, look, he's joined. It's official. He's in the kit. He's having fun with the players. We've got to let go now. It's done. He scored 280 goals as a Spurs player, 435 appearances, 45 goals in Europe, 213 goals in the Premier League, and 3 golden boots. He's one hell of a player that's leaving Tottenham. It's a massive void to fill. I don't know how we're going to do it. That's the job of the manager. But Harry Kane did leave a message today, guys, and this is what he had to say to all the Spurs fans, and then we'll discuss what we think of it.
Hi, everyone. I wanted to be the first to tell you Tottenham fans that I'll be leaving the club today. Obviously, a lot of emotions going through me right now, and sad to be leaving a club I've spent nearly 20 years of my life at. From an 11-year-old boy to a 30-year-old man now, there's been so many great moments and special memories that I'll cherish forever. So this is a thank you to all my teammates over the years, all my coaches, all the managers, every single staff member to do with the club, you know, from the kit man to the chefs, everyone involved. Obviously I've built special relationships with a lot of people. And most importantly, a thank you to you, the Tottenham fans. From the moment I've been playing, I've been one of your own, and I've given everything that I possibly could to make you proud, and give you as many special moments and memories to hopefully last forever. So I felt like this was the time to leave. I didn't want to go into the season with a lot of unresolved future talk. You know, I think it's important for the new manager and the players to concentrate on trying to get Tottenham back to around the top of the table and fighting for trophies. So I wish Ange and all the boys all the very best of luck. Honestly, you know, I'll be watching from a fan point of view now and really hope the team can be successful. Yeah, this is a message though to all you fans around the world, every single Tottenham fan that supported me and been with me throughout my journey. Me and my family will cherish it forever. We'll never forget all the moments we've had together. So thank you. I'll be watching this season. Good luck to Tottenham. Good luck to the whole club. So yeah, it's not a goodbye because you never know how things pan out in the future. But it's a thank you, and I'll see you soon.
There you go. That's his leaving message to the fans. And Iggy, how did you feel watching that? What did you make of it? Was there anything telling? A lot of people in the comments are saying no mention of Levy, no mention of the owners, just sidetrack them. Murray, let's go to you because Iggy's frozen. Murray from Miami, what do you think?
Orlando. That's good. Orlando.
Sorry, I meant to say Florida. Do you know what? It's past 10 o'clock. I'm gonna say stupid things, right? So just get used to it.
I would say this. I did kind of get a little emotional because it looked like he was tearing up. Because you know, in my profession as a counselor, you know, I look at body language. I looked at his eyes. It looked like his eyes was really watery, and so you know, it was sincere message, and I'm proud of him. You know, to say those words to the fans, and to be honest, I didn't even notice he didn't say anything about the owner, about Levy. And you know what? That's telling. You know, that really is telling. And so, you know, it's seeing it again was, you know, a little bit emotional, but you know, we move on. And it's a great message. And like I said on Twitter, thank you for being a faithful servant for us for all these years. You tried your best, and you served the club well. And now you're on your new challenge, and go do your thing. And for us, we move on. We move on. There's no crying over spilled milk. We move on. A new era starts tomorrow. And come on, you Spurs. That's the only thing we can do.
Maz, Mari says we move on. Do we have a choice? It's been forced on Harry.
We don't have a choice.
It's been forced on us as well, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I felt when I saw that, I actually felt emotional in the sense that I felt that we've really let him down. So I felt emotional from that point of view. We really let him down. I feel in his heart of hearts that he wanted to, you know, achieve everything with us, and I think in himself he's probably a bit sad that he couldn't do that. And he does look emotional that he's leaving, because he is a Tottenham fan, and as he said, he was one of our own. And he does cherish us as fans, and I think that speaks a lot about him as an individual and a professional. And he has been incredibly professional, hasn't he? He's a model professional for fans and footballers to look to on there. To be honest, I think it's rare for players to comment on boards and ownerships and stuff like that when they leave. So I wasn't surprised he never said anything. But you can tell there's probably no love lost.
Maz, can I say something though? You're right. I do agree that, but he did go out of his way to say thank you to the players, the managers, the players, kit manager, the cooks. That's kind of rare as well, though, isn't it? To go out your way.
Yeah, no, you're right. And I guess we can read between the lines and know what he thinks about that situation. Like I said, he's a fan. He's a fan like us, and he probably knows that we failed him, and that's, for me, that I genuinely feel hurt by that. When I listen to him speak, I mean, I was watching the Bayern Munich YouTube channels today, with him going into the club and everything, and it hurt. It really did hurt seeing him walking into another club, wearing another shirt. You think that's just for a Spurs fan, that's just wrong. I feel it's wrong anyway. That we lost him in that way. But good luck to him. I hope he does fantastic for Bayern. I hope he achieves everything he wants to achieve. I'll look. When Bayern are on, I will try and catch games of him playing. I hope he does really well, and hopefully one day he comes back to us, in good form, or he manages us, or whatever. Who knows?
Iggy, you got cut off. How did you feel about the video that Harry Kane put out? And, was there anything telling about it? Also, big up H. Thanks for joining. We've got 415 people watching. Please smash the like button and support the channel. Appreciate it. Yeah, Iggy, how did you feel about
it? Listen, it's a tough one. It is a tough one. I'm in line with what Mads was saying. It's just almost seems a little bit surreal, but it is real, and it's happening, and it's happened, and listen, I had my day yesterday. Today, like, I'm already thinking about tomorrow, and for me, yeah, the whole situation could have been handled differently. How do I feel about his video? Yeah, it's just, for me, it's just standard. It deliberately left Levy out. Maybe should have thanked the club, being at the fact that he's been there since he was a young boy. I know he said he was been there since 11, but he didn't actually thank anyone outside of the people that he mentioned. I know people may say, well, he should have said something, at least a thank you, but it just goes to show, innit, that in his mind, that's how he sees him. We have to respect that. But then after, I saw that video, and then not soon after that, I saw another video of him and Tuchel hugging each other and saying, I've made it, as if to say he's got away from Tottenham. So it was weird for me. It's almost like, it's weird listening to Kane, right? The one thing I'll say about Kane, and when I listen to him, it's just almost, it's like everything's almost scripted that comes out of his mouth. It's like, it's just a very monotone sort of. I don't feel, when someone's talking, you're like, the way when you see him as a player, you feel it, man, when you're seeing him as a player. But when you see him speak as a player, I listen to that even now. I didn't feel it. I don't know how you guys, if you guys have that, maybe it's just Kane, maybe it's just the character, it's just the way he is. But it's just a bit, yeah, I wasn't feeling the engagement when he's but look, it's done. We need to move on, man, because we got like 24 hours, less than 24 hours away of playing our first league game.
So, I think Harry Kane came across as if he felt relieved, like, finally I'm out.
Relief, yes, agreed.
He felt relieved, but at the same time, I also think that it was carefully worded for him. I think it was a bit of a script.
That's the thing I'm saying. I wasn't feeling it.
Yeah, but I think that had to be done, because do you know what? There was so much scrutiny that was going to be put on what he said that I think it had to be scripted, because I think if he said what he really wanted, I think there would have been problems. And being the professional that he is, I think he just went for the professional. Anyway,
5 minutes later, posing with the Bayern Munich for shirt. 5 minutes later, hugging Tuchel. I'm here. I made it. I got out. It was really weird. He's saying goodbye, and then welcome, and then it's like I'm relieved.
Yeah, but we have to be fair, though. I mean, for him, it's a new challenge, new
I agree, man.
opportunity.
The time to do it all was all kind of restricted. You know, he took the plane there yesterday. So I understand. At the same time, he didn't have a lot of time to. He didn't even probably know that if he was going to go through. He was stuck at the airport apparently, you know, waiting to get the go ahead. So I get it. I mean, Daniel.
Do you know how I know it was scripted? Do you know how I know it was scripted? Because at the end, he says, "You never." He said something like, "You never know if it was funny." You know, he dangled the carrot that I might come back one day. I'm like, whoa. For him to say that is to just keep Spurs fans on board with what's happened. Like, yeah, he'll be back. I don't know.
He's coming back to the Premier League.
No, I think you're being harsh, guys. He's given 20 years to the club. He's our best ever player. You know, you don't give 20 years to a club and leave like he has and not think, you know, he's a Spurs fan, right? Why wouldn't he say that?
Maz, he's coming back for that. He's coming back to the Premier League. We know that. He's coming back for his record. Now, whether he does it in a Spurs shirt or not is another matter. But he'll be back in the Premier League to
Maz, for me, to say that was just to keep the Spurs fans on board with him. That's how I felt. And I thought someone's told him to say that was a scripted bit of
sorry, can I just jump in? They're all scripted. Every single statement that's made by any footballer when they leave or go is always scripted. It has to be scripted because, as you see, the scrutiny that everyone gets, like for anything that they say, so they have to be careful. So every word, and they have all the guys that will tell them exactly what to say, and it'll be right in front of them while they're talking.
You have a PR team, but I'm going to say this, and you have to factor this. Because people in the comments, rightly so, say he looked lost. You know, his facial, his body language. You know, even around that fired, everything looks like unsure, lost. Well, you gotta think about it. Most players have made moves. Most players have, even within the Premier League. Or even from the championship, right? The left a championship club to go to a Premier League club. Some players have moved from a Premier League club to another Premier League club, then to a Serie A or Bundesliga club or a La Liga club. This is Harry Kane's first move. Technically, it is his first move. His first move, and his first move is outside of the country. It's not even within the country. It's not within divisions. Like he has always been at Spurs. That's all he knows. So this is the first time that he has left the comfort of Spurs to another club. Most players chance like Gareth Bale, Southampton, right before Southampton.
It looks quite relaxed. It looks quite happy to me. Seems
there, but I'm talking about some people reporting the earlier pictures, right? The earlier pictures, like he kind of looked lost and stuff like that. You know, which is understandable.
He's probably a little bit not overwhelmed, but he's probably a little bit apprehensive of actually being at an elite football club now. The environment will be different. Like he walks into the club and there's like trophies everywhere on the entrance, and there's pictures of some of the greatest footballers that have ever played football in the history of the game, and then there's snapshots of Khan lifting the Champions League.
No,
What's he see when he walks into White Hart Lane? A plant pot. Daisy, the receptionist. Morning, Harry.
No, he opened the door and he felt a haze of ambition. Like
yeah, exactly.
He's been a fantastic servant. Can't complain. Do you know what? Like I was watching the game earlier. I actually watched the Bayern game, and I thought to myself, I saw him sitting there, and I've just thought to myself, do you know what? You've done your service. Good luck. And do you know? I want him to win. I want him to literally get decorated. Then he'll come back. If he does come back, but I reckon he'll go back. He'll probably be a United player after Bayern if he does decide to come back.
Yeah, I mean, he's there for at least 3 years, I think, minimum. Whether he's there for 4 or more, we'll see. But time will tell. Off the back of Harry Kane being sold, the Spurs Supporters Trust put out a statement. I'll get it up on the screen because I know how desperate you lot are to see it. But
the Supporters Trust. I'm sorry, but I'm laughing already.
Well, what they said was, it's a sad day for Spurs supporters. We're devastated to see Harry go. Our leading goal scorer and one of our greatest players. He's embodied everything about Tottenham Hotspur. He gave his all for the club, giving us so many memories to treasure. Thank you, Harry, for everything you've done for Spurs. It should never have come to this. It's a watershed moment and clear and painful indictment of the on-field development of the club over the last 4 years. We've lost a generational talent. By his own words, only wanted to see the club progress, but the lack of coherent and consistent football strategy from the board has seen significant on-field regression since 2019, leading to one of our own feeling he had to leave. The board are merely temporary custodians of this club. If this board doesn't share the ambition of one of our greatest players, how can the fans feel reassured in the direction of the football club? Fans are angry and hurt. Our loyalty is being tested to breaking point. We must question the club's strategy and ambition, and we are owed an explanation on exactly who sanctioned the sale and why it's happened a matter of hours before the season starts. And it ends by saying the board must make a public statement, respond to questions on their stewardship, and show what it knows what putting football first means. Now,
oh man,
have we not heard this all before from the trust? They must reply. They must put out a statement. For me, I go back to what I said a year ago when the trust, and I think it was even in January again, when they emailed the club with 4 questions. As soon as the club replies, you don't hear nothing. There's no rebuttal from. There's never, that's unacceptable as a response. We do not accept your response. There's no, right, we're going to boycott. We're going to organise boycotting the club shop. We are going to start a campaign. Doesn't have to be called Leave Out, Enoch Out, but we are going to start a campaign, mass demonstration before, during, and after the game. There's nothing from this lot. Like I'm fully on board with the ticket price protest, but after this thing with Kane, I'm not bothered about the ticket price protest anymore, because for me, that is a small kind of splash in the ocean.
No, where have these people been? Where have these people been? They've been under a rock. Like, it's too late. Like that statement is it's a joke, right? I've heard 2 good breakdowns of that statement by the trust. It's a joke. It's a little joke.
There is no, exactly what you said, still, and I think I mentioned this as well in the past. Is there has to be consequences to not engaging with the trust, and they don't exercise those consequences, right? Like you said, organized protests, boycotts, walkouts, whatever that is. They've given the board too much respect in the past, and now the board doesn't respect them at all. They don't care what they say, and they've lost credibility because of that.
Do you know, it's the first time on YouTube and obviously through the Supporters Trust, the first time I've actually heard the same message go out from the likes of Chris Cowlin. They've all had the same message, but not one single one of them have turned around and said, right, okay, we need to do something about this. We need to, they're demanding a response from the board. No, you go and get that. You go and demand that yourself. You go there, you protest. Yeah, you basically let them know. And until that people, do you know what? Like, I've actually today been going through all of the chats, and I don't know if you see on Facebook, there's quite a few, and on Twitter too. I just replied back to people and like just turned around and said to them like, you guys just can't see it. This ownership don't give a damn about the club. They don't give a damn about the club. They don't give a damn about the fans. All we are is just white noise in their eyes. Yeah, like in their ears. Like that's all we are. They don't care what we say, what we do. Yeah, like whether basically the letter from the trust or a letter from that other group. Well, I can't even remember what their name was. They're that irrelevant. But do you know what I mean? Not a single time the board has sort of said, right, okay, no, all right, we've gone too far. The only way you could do this is if you go outside the stadium and inside the stadium, or you walk out halfway, literally like 20 minutes to go, 30 minutes to go. I would say about at least 30% of that stadium, 40% of that stadium, walk out, and then you'll see like that's when you'll get their attention. Yeah, just like what Arsenal did last season. Yeah, when they got battered by Man City, they all walked out. Literally a whole, where the cameras were, that pretty much majority of that stand walked out. And with like, I think there was about 25 minutes to go. Yeah, that's what Tottenham fans need to do. But until something like that doesn't happen, we're gonna literally go around in circles. Do you know what I mean? Like that's how I see it.
Anyone else got a view or thinking process on what the trust has said? Is anyone at all rallied by it? Do you feel invigorated to, yeah, I'm going to do something different that I haven't already done before?
I'd say one more thing in regards to the ticket prices and the stream you done talking about the trust and everything still. I just think it's still all talk. You know, that the fact that they have to go through a process and the members have to vote and all of that, I just think it's all nonsense. If they really did a poll, you know, reached out to all the members and said this is what we want to do, vote yes or no, then they'll get a response back saying yes, please do this, like a referendum. Let's say yes or no, let's protest, let's not do it. But they don't put the clear, you know, plan in front of the supporters trust members and say, right, this is what our take is on the board level. Do you want us to do this, yes or no? They're waiting for people to speak up. And in that scenario, you're going to have 10,000 different voices all saying their own different opinions in that scenario. There's no leadership in that trust to take action forward.
But here's the thing, right? I spotted something the other night, and I thought to myself, this is too good to be true. Something's up, right? I'll tell you what I spotted. Chris Cowlin, a bit upset now, talking about, you know, they've got to explain what's going on. I'm like, oh, okay, oh yeah. Then I heard Alistair Gold. He looked broken, right? But again, you're all saying the club needs to explain what's happened, and the club needs to justify this, and the club, how has it got to this? And all I'm thinking is, it's got to this because none of you wanted to protest and take action with us. It's got to this because you're all trying to be journalists and telling us what's going on without actually, you know, talk the talk but don't walk the walk. But what really caught my attention was last one on Spurs the other night. Lee McQueen said, I love it when I talk police sirens go off in the background. Lee McQueen said, you know, I don't say those words, Enoch out, Levy out, but I'm now at a stage now where I want this ownership gone. I want to change, and you know, and he started talking positively about the protesters. He's never spoken positively about the protesters, and I'm thinking, hold on a minute, why are you now being nice about us? What's happened here? Because you're still not going to come to the protest. I don't know why. If you're going to be nice about it, participate, surely. But then Ricky Norwood, the actor, he then said, do you know what? Big up to Enoch out and Levy out protesters. Fair play to them. You might not like the message, but they really are fighting for something there. And, you know, we need fans like that are going to be vocal. And we need them, he said. We need them. I'm thinking, hold on a minute. Do you know what I think's happening? I think that the trust is trying to win over everyone, and they're using the channels to buy into us. I think that they're all being positive about us because they've realized they need us. You actually need us because you've got that big protest coming up now about the tickets. And do you know what their biggest fear is? I've heard it on other podcasts. No, their fear is it becomes a leave you out protest. So if they're nice to us and they big us up, maybe they won't turn it into that and they'll do it our way.
Yeah.
Or they want us to turn up and turn it into that. But I think something's at play here. Look, I know all this conspiracy and game plays and all this goes on, but I actually believe, let me just bring in Matt, big up Matt. I actually believe that they're at a point where I think they do want change, but they haven't got the cojones to come out and stand up for it. They still haven't got the balls to do what it takes. And I think they're trying to play us into a situation, or they're trying to get us on their good side so that we do it their way. But for me, something's up. And remember, I've said this, guys, because I believe this will play out over time. If things become good on the football pitch, all be forgotten. If Andrew gets off to a blinder, all will be forgotten. You know what we're like. But if things don't, I just got a feeling, man, I think they're planting seeds in our heads. I honestly think that something. They've had a chat. They've had a chat because they're all mates. Cowlin, last one Spurs, Alistair Gold. They're on each other's channels. The trust only goes on their channel. The heads of the trust. So they've had that. They've had a chat, and something's up, which is why I said about 5 minutes ago, I don't know if I can do this protest their way now. So I don't know. Tell me what you think. Am I going OTT here? Am I looking too deep into it?
I did ping a message out to Lee earlier on Twitter. He put a message through about this, and I goes, listen, you're going to put these kind of messages out. You need to come out and literally demonstrate. And I said, or protest. I go, however which way you want it, you need to. He hasn't replied back on that. A couple of people have, and they've just laughing emoji and stuff. And so, and like some of them basically even said he ain't got the balls to do it. So let's see if he does come back. But he's probably just literally just shunned it. But at the end of the day, do you know what, Stel, you're right. I think they're actually trying to either put it into our heads to do it, or they're trying to basically, we're slow. Put it this way, it's working. And do you know what the thing is? And it's not even, I think the leaving out protesters make a huge difference. But at the same time, what I think is now, I think they've realised that they ain't going to turn around and walk forward. So they're literally pushing us, or pushing you.
The 200 maximum we ever get protesters are the most talked about people in the fan base. Purple and gold, leave you out, Enoch is the most talked about section of our fan base. And we're the smallest tiny little group that everyone
because I do think most people actually agree with us, but they're swayed by the masses, aren't they? They don't want to say anything contrary to what the group think is, right? And effectively, you're right, still that they're trying to the pennies drop. They realise that we're correct, but they don't know how to grow some balls and take it to the next step.
There's a label on us as the protesters, and it's a false label that they put on. And it's just like, why can't you just support the club or back the club? Well, okay. Now those same people are mourning because Kano gone, and they're like, man, this club. That's why I laugh at the trust. I want to say, shut up, because you have put false labels by those who oppose this regime and their tactics, right? Even giving false labels, using blasphemy and defamation, whatever, upon this group, and then now you want to be, oh, we're mad, we're not going to take it, and so it's all a joke. But you know what? I can guarantee you this, right? And I believe this. Another podcast said this. Next year, because they haven't done the season tickets, they're going to increase the season tickets next year. Watch it. People are mad now about the tickets prices going up now. Wait until next year. Wait until next year when the season tickets go up and the price go up.
It's like they've realised. It's like they've realised, Mari, that oh shit, you know, they're actually are taking us all for mugs and raising the prices. Soon, us middle class people won't be able to afford to go. Then what we're going to do? You know, the penny's almost dropping. that they need to do something.
Can
Yeah,
I?
do you know what? Like the thing is, though,
it's-
Murray. Like, can I just say something? Yeah, right. What you need to do is we need to literally take this and say, right, okay, don't slag them off. Just literally, all right, this is what they've said. Yeah, that means we're in their ears and we're in their heads. Yeah. Now, if we start slagging them off, all they're gonna do is, all right, fuck you lot. I'm sitting back. What you need to do is you need to pretty much turn around and say, all right, show us what you got. Literally come out. Honestly, still now is the perfect time. I was thinking, now is the perfect time.
I've said it. I tagged the trust in. I tagged them all in, and I
Yeah,
said,
yeah,
it's too late to now say you want change. The only
yeah.
thing to do now is you have to take action. You've
Action.
got
No,
to
you
stand
have
up and
to.
be counted.
No,
Right?
this is what I'm saying.
1 year ago, the same people were saying they're nasty, they're horrible, they want Levy, they sing about Levy getting cancer. We don't want to be part. Now they're saying, do you know what? Fair play to them, Enoch Outlaw. It's a complete reversal. It's listen, I'm glad. By the way, can I just say, I'm glad this is happening because I'm with you, H. I just want to quickly address two things very quickly. Still, you're not helping. You're basically suggesting people cannot have the same suggestions if they do not attend. No. What I'm saying is, if you're going to talk the talk, walk the walk. There's no point moaning and complaining unless you want to physically try and change what you're moaning about. That's the point I'm making. And Tom, you say stop the protests and go support Big Ange and the team. You can support the team without supporting the regime.
Support the regime, yeah, absolutely.
This is where a lot of people fail to separate the two. I want to bring in Matt because he hasn't spoken yet, and then go to Iggy because Iggy's been quiet for 10 minutes, and I get worried when Iggy's quiet for 10 minutes. Matt, welcome to the show. What's your take on it? We're not going to go too much Enoch out, leave out because there's other stuff we want to talk. But how are you with the whole Kane's gone? The trust have come out and put yet another statement. A lot more channels now. The so-called moderate channels are saying we want change now at the top. We find this unforgivable, this situation. How do you see it, Matt? You're quite a reasonable, level-headed guy.
Yeah, I think everybody is kind of on the same page now that the end target is Levy. So I think whatever the show is, whatever the podcast is, they're all now, whether it's the Harry Kane, whether it's the ticket prices, whether it's the lack of signings, whatever the gripe is, everybody's on the same page now. So whether you're Nostradamus and you predicted this 2 or 3 years ago, I think everybody now has had enough. So I still wish Harry Kane the best. I've got no arguments with him at all in leaving. I think he stayed too long, if I'm brutally honest. I think, if it was me or you or most people that have played football, you'd have probably left 3 years ago. I think just looking at it 360, I think we have to try and use all the energy, all the fire, all the flames and point it at the ownership. I think that's what we've got to try and do now. So whatever the argument is, whether it's the Harry Kane sale, whether it's the ticket prices, whether it's the lack of support in the manager, everybody have the same voice and say, channel your anger at that one area. I think that's what we've got to try and do because everybody's arguing, everybody's shouting. We get it. Channel it in that area. You know, let's not pick fights with the other shows and other people. Say, get it. Point your argument in that direction. And I think if everybody can start shouting and aiming it in the one direction, maybe something might happen. I'm not sure what else we've got to see. It's clear as day. The ownership has to be changed. So everybody focus your energy on change of ownership.
Iggy, where are you at with this all?
To be honest with you, whenever you talk about the trust, I switch off, and I've done it again. But I don't deliberately do it. I don't deliberately mean to switch off. I just happen to switch off whenever we speak about the trust. Now, listen, I'm not suggesting for any minute that those guys they're bad people. I'm not. I'm not saying Cowlin and all those guys are bad people. When it comes down to Tottenham, and we're talking about Tottenham and what's best for Tottenham and all of that stuff, I feel that their interest is a little bit ahead of the teams and the club's interest. Now, for me personally, I don't have a whenever it's talking about protesting, protesting for for this cause that we're at, Levy out and Enoch out, Joe Lewis out, we're there. Somebody from Tottenham away will always be at the protest, and we put our faces in front. We're not we're not behind keyboards saying that we'll leave you out and then not show up. We're not ones that are middle class and say, do you know what? I don't see the point of protesting, because if I can't afford to go to Tottenham, guess what? I'll stay home. I don't, if I can afford it, I'll go. If I can't, I'll stay home. But you're looking at it from very, very we're not talking about here that there's people here, even in the panel, myself, still, we can afford to go to Tottenham. We can. We've got jobs, we do well and stuff like that. We can afford to go to Tottenham. We can afford to go whenever we want. But this is not the point. This is not just about what me can afford or Stel can afford. We're looking at with the eyes and thinking what they're doing is total fuckeries. It is fuckeries to the max what they are doing, and we can differentiate between right and wrong. What they are doing is plainly wrong. That's the cause that I'm defending. Now, I don't have it. I'm not in a situation where, you know what, I agree with that Levy out lot, but I can't put my face in it because that damages what my career is, what I'm doing. With some of the YouTubers are out there, some of the YouTubers are bigger than us. They don't put their face out there because it damages what they are doing in Tottenham Hotspur's eyes. Because if they realise that they are against them, it can close a few doors. So they're like, we will support you guys, but from a distance. We are right there in the thick of things. That's why we don't care about putting ourselves out there, and we don't care. Like if there's listen, Tottenham away have had many doors closed. We've had a channel closure. We had the lot. And here we are, man. We're still doing it. We ain't going to stop doing what we're doing. So because we know the difference between right and wrong, what they are doing for the product that they're selling us on the field, on the football pitch. Forget the concerts, forget the NFL, forget all of that. That's great. I've always said I'm not against any of that. I think it's great that they do that when Tottenham are not there. But let's have it right now, guys. This is primarily a football club. The first and foremost should be always Tottenham Hotspur. The problem is that everything that goes around the Tottenham Hotspur does not benefit on the field. It doesn't benefit it. We don't see what's coming in being in any fruition for the team itself. And that's the issue that I have. This is why I protest. This is why I put my face in this. I'm talking right here, and I put my face in behind what I do, and I follow it up, and I go to the protest. For those people that want to stay away, I don't see the point of going to protest because nothing's ever. These millionaires don't give a shit about you, and they're right. They probably don't give a shit about us, but it can't stop us fighting the cause, even if we are in a few of the numbers. Will it change? Will it not change? I don't know, but I'll keep fighting it. I'll keep fighting it.
Can I just, Mario, I'll let you speak. I just want to say one thing. I don't want to use this guy as an analogy because I don't like him, right? I don't like him. But I just want to say, Brexit, that protest began 25 years before they got it. I'm not saying Brexit's a good thing, a bad thing. That's not the point. What I'm trying to say is, if you don't start somewhere and keep at it, you'll never get to the end goal. And believe you me, right? For any of you that haven't been to the protest, most of you in the comments haven't. The abuse and the hate that we get, it beggars belief how no one's had a full-blown punch-up in the high street on protest day. We get it. Every angle, we get it. But now, like what Matt said, just maybe now, it is now beginning to turn. Just maybe, But that's because we keep doing it. So, listen, I fully back what Iggy just said, man. Mario, yes,
100%.
Oh, sorry, just to add to that. Sorry, just to add that. Still, on the side, whenever we and you have been to the stadium, how many times are people, as we're making our way to our seats from downstairs, we go all the way up to our stairs, we get stopped along the way, just saying, "Big up, guys! Support the Levy out. Support." They love it, but they won't put their face in it. And I'm not knocking them for it. They have their own reasons why they won't put. They say sometimes.
But here's the thing: sometimes, see, it's not just that. You get criticised for then going to the game, but then what I say is, yeah,
we're here to support the team, man.
protest. No, but I protest in there. We're holding out Levy out banners.
That's what
all them
that's
black balloons with Enoch out.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I know here in the States.
Murray, these balloons on the pitch. This was us.
That's all us, lot, man. Who do you think's doing that? The purple and gold, and
it's the protesters who organised it that got us. They said that guys, take these balloons, blow them up. We'll chuck him on the pitch. We're like, okay, cool.
And that's what I want to talk about Neutral in the sense of his post and big up Neutral. Like, people can protest in the stadium. Like in the States, people actually go to the games to protest in the stadium. Because protest is not only outside of the stadium, protest in the stadium, right? When my New York Giants, the football team, was doing bad, people would come in with brown paper bags and put them over their face so the TV cameras can catch it. The owners don't like that, or the boos, or the walkouts, right? There are many protests you could do in AC Milan, Iggy's second team, right? The Ultras call out the players, like they do their protests in the stadium and outside the stadium. I don't get why people are like, well, then you still go into the building. Yeah, to protest. Exactly, right? You can protest outside the stadium and inside the stadium, you know? So it's
Mario, a lot of the guys call us hypocrites for being in the stadium. We do all that stuff outside the stadium against Levy, and then we go into the stadium. But we're there to, first and foremost, we're there because we actually don't have a problem with any of the managers.
We get more media attention protesting inside. Outside, we get hardly
because of
any
the media. The media surrounding it.
Well, you can hear. We don't have a problem. Levy out. You can hear it inside.
We don't have a problem with the players, as bad as some of them are. We don't have a problem with them because they are not there snatching Spurs jerseys and wearing them on. They've been given that honor to wear that Spurs jersey, and they get paid handsomely for it. We don't have a problem with the players. We criticise, but we know all within the term. You know, we're all within the game. Nothing personal outside of it. We don't go people's DMs or we don't go people's inboxes and smash them and their families and hope they're dying. Things like we don't do things like that. That's not us. It's not what we're about. And we don't have a problem with any of the managers.
Cars on the high street just yet.
We don't have
any cars over just yet.
We've never not supported any managers. Never. Nuno, Conte, Mourinho, whoever, you name all of them. We've never gone against them, man. Never. The problem is it's purely down to the lack of football and ambition, which is why we find ourselves with our greatest goal scorer going to Bayern Munich, because of the lack of football ambition they have that don't match the players, the proper elite players that want to win. It doesn't match them. They're like, let's see what's going on here. And you're right, Matt. He should have gone 3 or 4 years ago with the Man City hype. He probably should have jumped ship then. He stayed on another 3 years. And what changed in that time? Did anything change in his mind? He saw exactly the same thing. And this is what we've had enough of, because we don't see any changes. We don't see anything happening. Listen, they're probably Levy, Enoch, and all them. They'll probably look outside, see a couple of and thinking, piss off, mate. Oh, we know that. We're not stupid. We can see that. We know that. But the problem in the matter is, until people unanimously have had enough, and what's happened for a lot of people, and I was at the high street for the Shakhtar game, even though I didn't go to the game, I was down the high street. There wasn't a lot of us, admittedly, but there's a feeling. There's a feeling amongst the crowd, and it was dead, by the way. I'll tell you that. The atmosphere outside that stadium, anyone was there will tell you now, it was dead. There was no real hype. There was no real energy about the place. There was dead atmosphere outside the stadium. And the problem you got is that there are people in that go towards the stadium that have accepted, we ain't going to change this lot. We just have to muddle through, plod along, and hopefully one day it will change. But and that's as far as it goes. There's not going to be any. You don't get nothing from that. And like I said, for the people that go to the stadium, whatever happens, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is maxed out. So there's nothing to suggest that massive, in the grand scheme of things, anything's going to change. Because for the next 3-4 home games, the Shakhtar game was packed out, by the way, guys. The next three home games are completely sold out. And if people say, do you know what, I've stopped going, who cares that you stop going to the stadium? Because someone else is going to fill your ticket.
You know what?
I'm talking about who cares, as in the owners are not going to care, because if you don't go and fill your bum on that seat, they'll sell it. Someone else has got your seat.
If we don't get those seats, it'll be a pro-Levy person in that seat. And here's the thing, right? I know a lot of people in the comments, and by the way, I've put as many comments as I can, even the ones having to go at us. I put your comments up because this channel, we let all your opinions ride. You know, we're good like that. What I will say is this: if you take Tottenham away and you take Tottenham on tour, those two YouTube channels away, there is no Enoch out or Levy out message being represented on YouTube. None. Because what other channel is consistent with it? It's only us two. So if you take us out the equation, are the trust even going to pay attention to what's going on? Are all the other channels going to be kind of feeling a bit of heat? Because a lot of you in these comments will go and watch those other bigger channels as well. And then in those comments, all it needs is 5 or 6 of you to say, why don't you talk about Enoch? Why don't you talk about Levy? Because you're listening to us and Tottenham on tour say it. So then you feed the message on, and then they feel, do you know what? We're not talking about it. And there's more and more fans talking about it. It's our two channels that have pumped this.
So, to conclude,
and the thing is,
sorry, Mal, sorry.
You know?
To conclude what Stell's saying, because this is a subject that irritates me. To conclude what Stell's saying, the two channels, he's right. The two channels are mainly the ones that properly go there. Others are hit and miss. But the problem is that with a lot
The
of
others
bigger
talk
channels,
about it when it's the talk of the town.
Yeah,
you know, if the wind blows that way, we better go. You know.
If the narrative suits, then they will talk about it, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. The problem you got here, a lot of the channels are. Listen, I don't blame them for it because I know that everyone's got to make a living, and I completely understand it. I'm not
each channel to their own.
Each channel to their own. I get their standpoint. I get how they see it, and I get how they don't want that. Though they get deep down, I think they agree. Deep down, I know they agree. But when they put themselves out there, listen. Protesting against the football club you support closes more doors than it opens, and by putting your face there, it doesn't. Listen, we haven't got any.
No journalists will come on this channel. No one from the trust will come on. All the doors are shut because of what we do. They will not come through that door.
But then I think to myself, what is it that we want?
I've invited them.
They won't come. The problem you got is that with this channel, it's very simple. We have to decide. Do we want the best for Tottenham or do we want the best for the channel and do this moving forward? Do we want a career? This is the standpoint you got. This is and unfortunately for us, we've decided, look, whatever happens, that what the football club needs has to come before our own gain.
Absolutely.
And for a lot of these guys, it's their gain more than the football clubs.
And that's the reason why. And that's the reason why what we're doing is working. What we're doing is bringing people to our way of thinking, and as long as we speak the truth, which I believe we do speak the truth, and we know what's wrong and what's right, then eventually we will win in this campaign towards the board, because ultimately what we want is what is best for Tottenham Hotspur.
Absolutely. And do you know what, like, as far as I'm concerned, I believe that this stadium is the unicorn, that Spurs have created. Enoch have created the stadium as a unicorn because all it's done is blinded our fans, basically saying, oh yeah, we make money, we make this, we do that, we do it. But the team is always shite. It's always shite. So until they don't start investing that money back into the team, like, this is going to go on. And do you know what the thing is as well? Like, their ambition isn't Tottenham Hotspurs. It isn't. That's not their ambition at all. Their ambition is Haringey and Enfield Borough. Yeah, that's all they want to do. They've bought up properties left, right, and centre throughout those areas.
They bought 75 acres of land around the stadium.
Yeah, and on top of that, you know where the training ground is. Who would put a Four Seasons hotel in there? Like, because they're preparing all of that Enfield area, everything around it. They're just buying up properties left, right, and centre. Where are they getting the money from?
I just want to address something in the comments.
Cash power.
Hold on, I just want to address something in the comments, right?
Yeah, go for it.
Right, no, I've seen this many times over the last couple of years, right, where people say, oh, they're billionaires, there's nothing you can do. Look, any successful corporation, if there's negativity around what they do from their customers and their fan base, that will instigate change, right? Because the way that these companies make money is that They need people coming through the doors, and they need the companies that support them to get positive engagement from their customers and their fan bases, right? So forget about this. Oh, they're billionaires. There's nothing we can do to change it. There's ample of there's ample of cases out there where the customers have rebelled against a large corporation, right, and then rebelling against those large corporations has inflicted change. Take, for example, Bud Light in the US, right?
Yeah.
So, grow up on them being billionaires. Ultimately, we are the customers, we are the fans of Tottenham Hotspur, right? And if the large consensus go against what they want, they will change.
Absolutely. Do you know what? This is why I say that every single YouTube channel, the trust, everyone has to unite, because if they don't unite now, what's going to happen? These guys are just going to carry on, and what they do already, they chuck. I wouldn't be surprised about 10 people on this chat are probably just trolls, which they've put in place just to put people off. Yeah, that is what their agenda is. So as far as I'm concerned, like what they need to do, like what we need to do is just basically get everyone united. I know it's not the nicest thing. I know people don't want to do it. And fair enough. Even if they turn around and say, all right, we're with you.
I think everyone agrees with you. I think everyone agrees with what you're saying. You're not
but this is what I'm saying. But the thing is, like, everyone agrees at the moment, and it's the first time I've seen it. Yeah, but what they need to do is that even if they don't want to take action physically by going to the protest, what they do is the people that tune into their channels, that put comments and say, oh, we love you, we great show, this and that, tell them to turn around and go to the protest. Send them. Like, this is the only way that these guys are going to take note. Otherwise, they will not. And people say, oh, don't do it in the stadium. Ange, we got support. Yeah, support Ange. Like that motto, what you say, I keep forgetting it. But what we got to do is, at the same time, in the stadium is where all their sponsors are. Yeah, in the stadium is where Daniel sits. Daniel Levy don't stand outside. He doesn't walk around the stadium that he can see what the protesters are saying or what they're doing. It's in the stadium. That's why walkouts will work. I don't care what anyone says. Like when I saw that game against City and Arsenal, and I'm repeating it again, it made a change. They spent 200 odd million, just to basically, because they know if they didn't, it would literally, like, the Arsenal fans will go mental. AFTV now are with all the people they were against. Everyone's got together and they're singing out the same hymn sheet, and that's what Tottenham fans need to do. Until that doesn't happen, nothing's going. Protesting, like standing outside, like with 200, 300 people, isn't going to work. Everyone has to. So, although we don't like what they say, we don't like what their mental psyche is, but what you got to turn around and say, right, okay, now you guys are starting to see it. Get together and let's make noise. And noise is, put it this way, the louder the noise gets, the more, like, these corporations, these billionaires, what they say we can't touch. As soon as, like, it gets through. Sorry, I'm a miss just bringing me a beer. Like as soon as it gets through, right, like that's when people will start taking note. Like sponsorships, like basically, like as you said, the Bud Light happened because everyone knows why it happened. I'm not going to go into the political side of that, but it literally wiped I think a third of their worth. So
can I?
Go on, sorry, I'm nattering too much. Let me have a beer.
Just some of the comments that I'm seeing as well. So I'm seeing them as well still. Like,
listen, it's Saturday night. You can do.
I get it, man.
It's their enjoy. Oliver, I want to answer this question, right? You're asking me, Ricky Sachs, Sean Butler, Chris Cowlin, and others to get in a room together and at least have a conversation, right? Here's my answer. Sean Butler is not Levy out, okay? So forget Sean. Sean is not interested. Chris Cowlin, Ricky Sachs. Ricky Sachs called me up and asked me to calm it down with the Levy out, Enoch out stuff. And I said, I'm not calming nothing down. He goes, yeah, but we're getting a lot of heat on our channel. I said, that's for you to manage. you manage your channel. And then I said to him, look, you need to understand my position on this. And I don't understand why you refuse to do anything about it as a channel. Like, you do nothing, yet you moan about Levy, you moan about Enoch, you moan about the decisions being made. I just find it astonishing how you're just moaning and complaining and waiting for the next moan and complaint without actually saying, do you know what, I'm going to do something about this. Anyway, we had a chat. He was really good about it. He was fair game to him. Yeah. But at the end of the conversation, just to answer your question, Oliver, I said to him, Ricky, is there anything you guys could all unite behind as a form of action, and we will back it? You don't want to protest. You don't. Okay, cool. A petition, a walkout. Is there anything you guys on your end? Speak to Lee McQueen. Speak to Chris. Can any of you guys come up with something and say, look, we could get behind this, and you know what? We will follow suit. Is there anything you could put together? And he said to me, I'll speak to them, but look, mate, I ain't got time for this, and I don't know what the others will say, but I'll put it to them. And never heard a word from him again. They're not interested, my man. Oliver, I swear to you, they're not interested. Maybe now they might be, like H said. Maybe now the game's changed. I know Brian's reached out to Ricky, and Ricky replied. So maybe now there's scope, but it's not like we haven't tried. Believe you me, we have tried. I've been banging. There's a reason why the trust called me up. They could have called anyone. Why call me? Right? They know. But they just, I don't know what it is. They're scared. They're scared to do something. I think they feel they're going to lose everything if they take the step forward. But
personal gain.
But we're losing everything now. We're losing everything now. We've got no Europe. We've got no Harry Kane. We're losing everything anyway.
I don't have a problem with
different opinions, different mindsets.
I don't have a problem. Everyone's site is their own site. Everyone's views are their own. Everyone, whatever, man, whatever.
Absolutely.
What I'm saying is, I'm not forcing anyone, guys. Before there's some of the YouTube names that have been mentioned in the chat, and they're getting a bit of stick. All right, I ain't gonna put them up on the screen, but please, can you just comment on the other YouTube? Every single YouTube guy or girl have their opinions, have their views, and have their beliefs, and it's absolutely fine. I can only tell you from my point of view what my standpoint is and what I am doing. If the others don't want to do it because they have their own reasons for not doing it, even though they may agree with what we're trying to do, they don't want to be seen firsthand to it because it messes up other things for them. That's their own thing. I can't do nothing about it.
Like Will Stewart always says, guys. Like Will Stewart always says, if you want to attack their opinion, do it. Attack their opinion. But if you're going to attack them as human beings, listen, then we're going down.
What I will say though, just to conclude to that,
destruction, and nothing will get achieved. Don't attack the human being.
They have their views, and that's fine. You know what? They're different to mine, and that's absolutely fine. But don't bust my balls though for protesting. Don't bust my balls for doing things that I believe is right for the club ahead of my own personal gain. I don't listen. It's a headache for me to be doing a protest. Do I want to be doing them? No, I don't want to be doing it. If they showed the same ambition for within the team as they show for everything else, the NFL, the contests, if they showed that same amount of energy for that for the team as they do for everything else, I wouldn't have a problem with it. I wouldn't be here talking about this.
Did you? Did any of you?
Do you think I want to go to the game or I want to go to White Hart Lane? Protest, go all the way down there. I live in Essex. I go all the way down there to protest, not watch the game, come back home. I could be doing that. I spend the same money going to protest without seeing the game. So what's the point? So I'm doing it for a reason.
Check this out. You've just triggered me on something. I'll do the super chat in a minute, Tim, man. I haven't forgotten. I've got to play it for 15 seconds, then stop it for like a few minutes, and then go again. Otherwise, it gets done for copyright. Listen to what Joe Cole had to say when he was asked about Harry Kane. Listen to what he said about Daniel Levy. This is an ex-pro football player, right? Have a listen to this. By the way, give me a thumbs up if you can hear it when I play it.
Nah, it's lagging. I can't hear anything.
All right, don't worry. If you can't hear it, I'll tell you what he said. He basically said, if you get a chance, go into BT Sport, you'll find a clip of it. I'll find another way of making that work another day. But what he basically said was, Harry Kane stayed at the club for too long and he should have left earlier. And he said, he's been let down by Daniel Levy. He If you look at Daniel Levy, he's got two jobs. One, the business. Two, the football team. If you look at the business, you've got to give him an A+. Like, you've got to give him the best mark you can possibly give. But when you look at the football team and what he's built over time and what he's tried to build around Harry Kane, you've got to give him a D-. Like, he's completely let down that side of the football club. This is Joe Cole, and he's comfortably saying it in an interview, and Rio Ferdinand's behind him doing this. Every footballer knows, every pundit knows, any rival fan you speak to, Chelsea, Arsenal, clubs that hate us. My friend Gerd, big up to Gerd, he called me up the other day, said, how you doing still? He's a massive gooner, always bantering me, I banter back. He said to me, do you know what? I actually, he goes, I can't believe I'm going to say this. I feel sorry for you lot. I actually feel sorry for you lot. He's absolutely mugging a lot of you off, man. I can't believe that he gets away with it. Listen, I'm loving it. I'm loving it as an Arsenal fan, but I actually feel sorry for you as fans that pay money. And I'm thinking, why is it everyone gets it, but our fan base just seems to, what is it about our fan base that it just doesn't click? Why?
Acceptance.
It's for the same reason.
Nothing's going to change.
Yeah, for the same reason.
Nothing's going to change. An acceptance of mediocrity, whether we subconsciously accepted it or not, whether we openly say we've accepted it, but our mindset is one of acceptance of mediocrity, accepting the fact that nothing's going to change, accepting the fact that whatever we say or do in a protest, the elite are not going to change. Not understanding. This is the other thing. I've been going to Spurs for a long time, not understanding and seeing that since White Lane has gone and we've gone to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, not seeing that even the clientele, if you want to call it clientele, has changed. We've gone from the people of the terraces as going to middle class and to elite. And what's the one thing that middle class elite tourists will never do? Is protest. We will never go against the club because they might be there once in a blue moon, watch the match, and then go away not seeing them. They're not
for the same reason that
they won't do it.
The same reason that I keep reading the same comments over and over again. Oh, Levy will never change because
There you go.
As long as the stadium's full, he'll never change. Yeah, we know that. We all know that. Cool, right? It's obvious. But that doesn't mean that you don't.
I would just say
it doesn't mean that you don't fight for what you believe in and what's right. And that's why we do it. We're fighting for what we believe is right.
Do you know what? Oh, sorry, go on, Murray. Go on.
Because we have so much to talk about. I'll just say this.
We haven't even got to Son yet and captains, but anyway.
Yeah, I know. I would like to get to that. But I'll say this. All right, granted, if there are people who don't want us to protest, not say anything, and even the supporters trust, all right, stop what you're doing, in regards to the ticket prices. Just allow the team to function. But here's one thing you have to promise me. Don't complain. Don't complain. Don't complain. Just don't complain. Just take it as it is and just zip it. Don't complain. Because if you're going to complain how the team is run, how the board is run, you're almost being a hypocrite. I don't want to hear complaint. Because usually if you complain about something, if you complain about your job, you're looking for other jobs, right? You're putting in your resume, you go to LinkedIn, you're looking. If you're complaining about a relationship, right, you're going to make a move. You're either going to find another partner, you're going to do something. So if you believe nothing's going to happen, all right, granted, right? We'll take it as it is, we'll accept it as it is, then you know what? Don't complain. Don't complain. Don't complain about how did Harry Kane get to a point you want to leave. Don't complain about ticket prices going up. Don't complain about the product we're on the field. Yes, now we're playing sexy football, but we're going to give up a lot of goals because their competency of not getting seven backs earlier enough. All right, don't complain. Don't complain if the highest pinnacle that we get to is top 4, right? Because that's what the board really wants. Top 4. Don't complain. It's 23 years evidence of this. Don't complain.
Murray, there's a journalist on Twitter, Paul O'Keefe. He's quite active against Levy and Enoch, right? He's very much like he's broken, and a lot of people follow him. I think he's got like 100,000 followers. And he put a tweet out about we've got to do A, B, C, D as a fan base. And I said to him, we've been protesting for God knows how long. We've never had backing. We've never had support. None of you get behind it. We're the only ones taking any form of consistent action. If you want to lead it, step up and lead. If anyone wants to tell us what to do, come and do it then. Lead. And this is where it begins to be, it begins to unravel. Everyone wants to say what to do, Mari, but no one's prepared to step forward and say, right, let's go. Even change for Tottenham. They got so much support behind them. I'm thinking, all right. And then it comes to the day of the rally and they cancelled it. And I'm thinking, it's so difficult. Do you know, I forgot about that super chat. I've just remembered. Tin Man says, thank you, Tin Man. If we win tomorrow and then make a couple of signings before the United game, do you think protest versus United will be strong? No, I personally think a lot of fans will be like, no, okay, life goes on. I mean, that's what usually happens. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think it will soften everything and calm it down? Probably will, won't it?
Yeah.
And that's 100%.
Yeah, it will soften up.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Of course it does, because it weakens your argument. And by the way, I will always want Tottenham Hotspur to win. Hey, just I want to make it be known. I don't want Tottenham to lose, just so my argument about the protest reinforces. Let's make that clear. I will always want Tottenham Hotspur to win. I just will never be in the ideology of what this ownership is trying to sell me. Never. There's never any plans. No, there's never any plans. And regarding the judges, I listen. I mentioned something to Stel the other day on the other stream. I can't remember what stream because we've done so many the last week. I said in one of those, I said Lee Judges a few years ago under that Pochettino era. I don't know how I came about it. I watched him on AFTV and he said exactly this. Tottenham Hotspur is pretty much what my man is saying. He said, I'm envious of what's happening across the road about us because they're wearing the shit and we was a young dynamite team ready to really go the next level. Flip that 4 years later, where we are, exactly where Arsenal were 4 years ago, and where they are now is where we were with Pochettino. An exciting young manager, an exciting young team, a team going direction. Difference is, what is the difference between the two? Between that era and this slot here is the fact that the club has backed what they're trying to do on the pitch. They're not just giving it. They're not just talking about it. They're not looking for the cheapest option. If that is the right guy, we will go. Is Declan Rice? Is he the one that you want? Yeah, he's the one we want. How much is it? We don't give a shit. 105, we'll go and get him. But we will turn around as fans, instead of saying, do you know what? I don't give a shit how much you pay on a player. Just go and get him if he's the right man. We go, I don't know. We shouldn't be paying 40 million, no more than that. We're trying to act the finances of this club. We're trying to act like we're businessmen. I'm a fucking fan, first and foremost. I couldn't give a shit about how much you spend on a player. If he's the best man, go and get him. 80 million, Tonali. Did you guys see Tonali today? Proper player. 22 years old. Proper player. 80 million. All of a sudden doesn't seem a waste of time. Doesn't seem a waste of money. Sure, he has to prove it, but the signs are already good. They've got themselves a proper player. Do we as fans care that they spend 80 million? Or do we, I say it from the Newcastle's point of view, do we look at the player thinking, what a player? And yeah, of course, you spend money every year going to watch you spend money season ticket every year. You should have the right to see the best players you possibly can for your team. Do we look around Tottenham Hotspur, one of the 10, by the way, the top 10 richest club in world football? Do you look at that on the pitch and say, do you know what? We're not winning the league, but we're not down there. Do we see a really good side? Ange Postecoglou will do his best. He will do his best to make this team play as best as possible. But we want to see the best possible players.
Sorry, I need to interrupt you, guys. Please. Right, I'm looking at the comments that you're having a go at religions, LGBT community, how people honestly look. Yeah. Anymore, I've got no choice but to
start blocking,
you.
Man. Start blocking. Listen, guys, make it clear.
I'm going to block half the. I'm going to block half the freaking audience.
It is what it is. It is what it is. You tell them now, look, guys, any more of that, just block. It's just going to be a block situation. No more talk.
It's ridiculous. It's offensive. It's OTT. It's like chill. I know it's Saturday
Religion,
night. And
racism, anything like that,
everyone's on-
sexism, I don't care. It gets blocked. So I'm just
Let's
calling it
change.
now.
Let's,
We see it. We
let's, you know, what, let's change the subject. Maybe calm it down a bit. So, today, David Ornstein, exclusive. Son Heung-Min appointed Tottenham captain. We were debating this last night. Who we thought
Big
it would be.
up, Sonny.
Christian
What did
Romero
we do?
and James Maddison are assistants. So I guess that means vice captain. Decision by Ange Postecoglou and club well received by the squad. The trio seen as players' characters to bring improved spirit and progress in a new era. Then Romano, beg your pardon, who the hell's Romano? Fabrizio Romano said, breaking, Heung-Min's son named as new club captain to replace Harry Kane. And there's Sonny looking happy, busting out the club captain badge. And there's the three captain, so to speak, the three amigos. You got Sonny and then the two boys, Romero and Maddison, as the vice captains. Now,
some big calls there, man. Not so much for Sonny, but for me,
a
for
lot
the
of.
rights.
I want to get on something else now. Okay, I want to package it as one because this is my insider information. Now, at the same time, a lot of people thought ITK. A lot of people thought that this man Eric Dyer was going to be given the captaincy, and we were all like shitting ourselves, thinking, "Oh my god, if he's club captain, that's it. I'm going to kill myself. I can't do it no more."
He's deleted all association with Tottenham. He's gone.
Right. He's deleted his Instagram association with Tottenham. And then the Spurs web tweeted Eric Dyer's Instagram profile no longer mentions Tottenham, nor does he follow the club anymore, which led people to think he's leaving or he's upset by captaincy. Well, let me tell you this. Right. I had to make notes on this one. So what I've been told, guys, please don't take this as gospel, but this is what I've been told. Right. Apparently, lots of players are fuming at the club with everything going on regarding Harry Kane. And that's why Dyer took everything off links to Tottenham. There might be more players to follow. I'm hearing the core of Spurs are absolutely fuming this morning and have been since Thursday. The mood in the camp has been low. Dyer is one of the main members of that core, and he's removed Spurs from Instagram and from his bio, despite no links to leave the club. Ange has got a massive job in his hand. Levy has fucked Ange. Now, that's what I was told.
Ali said the same thing. Ali Go said the team morale is low. That's I was about to pull up my phone.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Ali Go said the same thing. And I said, oh shit, we got a game in 24 hours. We don't need this. Ali Go reported this. I'm gonna pull it up. But
this is why I called the show New Captain and Player Mutiny. Now we know Eric Dyer is the head of the player, what's it called? The player committee, whatever they're called, the specialist player unit, right? SAS.
Ali Go reported it.
From what I've been told inside the club, Dyer's flipped. And it's not just him, there's a few. Make of it what you want, let's discuss it, but that's what was said to me.
I'll say it clear here and now. If he's flipped, like you say, he can train on his fucking own. The team trains in the morning, he can train in the afternoons, or the other way around. Just move him away.
Yeah. If Andrew's got balls, he should get those players that are pissed off. All right, and like you said, Iggy, just let them train on their own.
Yeah.
Ali Go
kill it off straight away.
The mood in and around #THFC with Kane's departure today was so low. And that's Ali Gold, who is Mr. Tottenham. He knows everything.
Well,
are they blind or something? I mean, like, have they been in a cave or something for the last 3-4 years? Like they don't realise that he's fucked off by not winning anything.
That's Ali Gold who said that. So
Dyer, Doherty, and Kane were the three amigos. Two of them have fucked off and left him on his own. Of course, he's done now, isn't he? He's not got the people around him. That's the big support. He's gone. He just needs to do one. Listen, if what you're saying is true, Stel, he needs to train on his own. It's as simple as that. You can't have.
You've got to move him. You have to move him out.
Do you know what?
Make of it what you
Sell
want.
Him for $1 million. Sell him for $1 million.
Fally Gold's talking around that kind of language as well.
Reported it.
It explains why Dyer's untagged the club and all that stuff.
Yeah, do you know, I found that a bit weird, but I thought, I heard, do you know, but I heard he was getting abused, racial abuse. I don't know
No,
where the
that's
racial
wrong.
abuse was coming from, but he was getting racial abuse. Basically, he was getting abuse. Everything under the sun, apparently. That's what I heard. That's the reason why he removed himself away from Tottenham. But obviously, I know you got inside information. So,
I've got a little bit. I'm not Danny K, in Twitter.
yeah. I
Big
got
up, Danny. Big up, Danny.
I got a bit of I get a bit of inside information as well, but not on the team side, like sort of up north, basically. Like, if you get what I mean. But yeah,
That performance that Dyer put in against Barcelona was enough for him not to be in a team ever again. That was absolute diabolical, man. If you're looking at you're hearing what we're hearing now. You've seen that's the one thing. I might even allow this because it's hearsay, but what you saw on the pitch, that's not hearsay. We saw it.
no,
And
I know, 100%.
his recovery for a couple of them goals was shocking. Should not be anywhere near that first team if that's the kind of performance he's going to
He's
put in.
scared to tackle. I've noticed that guy is scared to tackle. I just don't. For a defender, he doesn't know how to tackle.
He's more exposed now in the back four. He's more exposed now.
It's not just Dyer. There's a few others. I've been told there's a mini mutiny. A little.
It's going to be him. It's going to be Davis. It's going to be all the part of the old regime. It's not going to be the new ones.
No, but to be fair, that what not that I'm going to defend Dyer. I want him out of the club, but to be fair, what I've heard is this is because of the situation with Kane.
Yeah, and I don't blame him, really. But the thing is, at the end of the day, he knows. I'm sure him and Kane, they're bloody go on holiday together and play golf together. I'm sure Kane told him what was going on. So the mutiny should have started way before. Like, not wait until Kane's gone and then start it.
Screenshot it, man, Murray. Put it on.
Yeah. What do you, guys, what about Sonny getting the captaincy? I mean, look, a lot of fans wanted Sonny benched. They wanted him dropped from the team. Ange Postecoglou, if you back this manager, which a lot of people do, then surely you've got to say, hold on. Ange must see something in the player that has led him to say, do you know what? You're not just going to, because he's not just the captain. That means he has to start every game. Like, if he's fit, he has to play.
Was he not voted? Was he not voted by the players to be captain as well? I think he was voted, or he got.
No. Apparently, this came from Ange, and obviously, he must have done his homework.
The players are
he must have spoken to the players.
Listen, I think it was the right call. He's been there. He's
100%.
Screenshot that, Murray. Screenshot it and.
Now, do you know what? Like, if you go on Facebook, and you go on Twitter as well, they are absolutely slagging Sonny off, saying he shouldn't be captain. He shouldn't, because he's not vocal enough. He's a crybaby, and he's not a leader of men. And I actually replied,
he's done military. He's done the army. Like, Sonny's done the army.
I know. But so I basically replied, you don't have to be aggressive. You don't have to be a Roy Keane. You don't have to be. Look at Ledders to start off with. Ledley King was the quietest player on. Put it as well. I don't know what he was like in the dressing room, but I'll tell you one thing: that guy hardly spoke when he was a player. You hardly heard any interviews, and even when he interviewed, it sounded like he's never been interview trained. So he led by example. Sonny, at the end of the day, the way I look at it, you don't have to be aggressive, strong, vocal. If you look at that, when you look at it, I don't know whether you've seen the training ground videos. Every single player messes around with Sonny. He is liked by everyone in that team.
He's popular.
Yeah, he's popular. Yeah. And put it this way, if you speak to Romero's basically turned around and said, although we don't speak the same language, but me and Sonny are best mates. You know what I mean?
The thing is as well, and I think Sonny alluded to it in his interview with the internal Tottenham people, that he had captains that were ahead of him, Hugo Lloris and Kane, and he let them lead. And now he's the leader; he will lead. And you've got to give him the opportunity to show what he can do.
Yeah, but you don't have to be.
There's different ways of leading. Yeah, some people
absolutely.
They you have quiet leaders that lead by example. They lead by example. They lead by being first at training. They lead by being first and leaving last. They lead by follow my example. Don't follow what I'm saying, what's coming out of my mouth. Follow me, what I'm doing as a player, what I'm putting out there. There's different ways of leading. A lot of people have this mentality where, and that's probably more my generation. I don't know what age you guys have, but in my generation, that the mentality is that the Roy Keanes, they are the captains, and those loudest, boisterous, the ones that go in there hard on the challenges and stuff like that. They kind of lead by the aggression. And I'm thinking, nowadays in football has changed, guys. You can't go in. If Roy Keane played the way he did 15 years ago, 20 years ago, he'd be getting sent off every week. It just can't play like that anymore. So you have to find another way to lead, and a different. The players, the way they are today, you have to lead in a different way. And Sonny may not be the right person vocally, might not externalize all this aggression, but I think in his way he can lead. And also, whether you have an armband or not, it shouldn't stop you doing all the things that you should do, even if you had the captain's armband. So for me, one person wears the armband, but essentially 11 people have to always take the responsibility.
There should be 11 captains on the field. That's what it should be. You should have 11 captains on the field. Like, you should literally. Sorry, Gordstone.
No, I was gonna say.
Murray, you speak. Then I want to bring in Matt.
Yeah.
Matt's quiet there. Like, sorry, Matt.
Just listening.
I grew up. I'm in my older. I am in my 40s. So I grew up with Carlos Puyol, the Roy Keanes, the
You're a puppy.
the Riquelmes, the ones who are very fiery. Yeah. The two things that you want as a leader on the field. Okay, Son is not fiery, but if he can be the extension, and I've always said this, the extension of the coach on the field. Hey guys, let's calm down. Let's be a voice of reason. Let's not panic. We got a 2-goal lead. They just cut it to 1. Let's calm down. Let's do the base. If he could be the extension to the coach, then that's good. That he doesn't have to be fiery, rah, 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 rah. As long as he can extension. That's what we've been missing. We have not had the extension of Poch on the field. We didn't have the extension of Jose or Conte on the field. And that's why we couldn't win games against Southampton, B squad and stuff like that, because we didn't have that. From Sonny's message today, I believe that he's going to be an extension of Ange on.
Cutting up a little bit.
He made an apology. That was Romero. This is something that's good for Romero in the sense of he made the apologies like, hey, this year was kind of off year, bad year for me. Now this year, I'm going to responsibility. And I think this is a real good thing because we need Romero to be back to Atalanta Romero, which is the same playing style in regards of being aggressive, like that, and plays, right? Because I was supposed to do a video about Romero, but I won't have time before the season starts. But some of the myths and stuff like that. But this is a good thing that he was named vice captain. It could only be better for the benefit of the team, of him being vice captain along with Madison.
Madison as well.
Madison vice captain. Yeah. Romero. Yeah, it's there they are, 3 amigos. Matt, let me ask something. Okay, so a lot of fans that wanted Conte out are all saying back Ange, he's better, his football's better. Okay. A lot of those fans also have criticised Sonny. So tell me how you can want Conte out and back Ange, but then not back Ange's expert footballing experience decision to make Sonny captain and want Sonny dropped. How can you say back Ange when he's picked Son, but you don't want Son in the team? It's like, or starting, should I say? Isn't this a bit of a contradiction, or are people just hate
short-term memories? I think
national championship manager.
yeah. It's just short-term memories. by his own high standards, he probably didn't have the best season last season. So for fans, it's just short-term memory. Son shouldn't be in the team. But if you look at the candidates that were there to take the captain's armband, there wasn't many. Maddison's just got there. Basuma, I don't think Basuma played 10 matches last season. Romero is coming off a bit of a indifferent season. So Son was the outstanding candidate. I think for me, some captains lead by their performance, not by what they say. Spending the last 25 years, 30 years in Birmingham, Paul McGrath never said a lot. You know, all my Villa fans, Paul McGrath was a great player, but didn't speak a lot. Ledley King didn't speak a lot. So I just think we need a reset. It's a watershed moment. Kane leaving the club and Lloris moving on as well. So he's popular in the dressing room. He's a bit of a kind of a bright spark. And I think he's going to have a really good season. So, yeah, absolutely happy for him to get the armband. And in regards to your comments earlier about mutiny in the dressing room, I think Postecoglou's is too experienced. He's too experienced as a manager to allow that to fester or continue. So if it is going on, I think you'll see in the next week to 10 days, those players will be removed before the end of the transfer window. So I actually think it won't be a Conte or Jose bust up. I think he'll do it in such a way that their feet won't touch the floor. So I actually think I don't personally think it's too much of an issue.
Guys, also I want to say this: Son is not a quiet lad, man. If you guys remember the Amazon documentary, he has fire in him, man. Yeah. He has fire in him. He just probably doesn't do it out there. He probably doesn't saves it in the change room. But he's got fire in his belly. You guys saw him.
Didn't he have a punch up with Lloris in the Amazon documentary?
So, and he was captain at the time. So he's got the fire in his belly, man. And I don't mind that because and also I think between him and Ange, because I think Ange is playing it calm at the moment, man. But inside, there's fire in that belly as well, man. He's definitely got it in him. And I think maybe the combination of the two is quite. I think it will work. Yeah. And also, you got Maddison, who was captain of Leicester City, so he has that leadership qualities. And I think that what Murray said was right, man. An added responsibility now given to Romero says, "Hey, you can't do that shit now you're doing last year. You don't want to lose that fire in your belly or the tackles. We want to see that, but we also have that added responsibility that he's now. We want to make him part of Tottenham because I always felt that it was Romero last season was almost doing a favour playing for us." As if he's like, you know, saves himself for Argentina, but come for us. It's like, but now he's an integral part of this group.
Yeah,
and I think that's a good thing. I think it was well thought out.
I think you can see what Andrew's done as well by bringing, getting Lo Celso on board as well. He's got Coutinho Romero changing his tune in the way he speaks about Tottenham, and you can see him thrusting
not forgetting Basuma, Maz. I think
Basuma as well, absolutely. And you can see Ange sort of thrusting some responsibility on them, and they're in a way that in their demeanour they're thriving off it, and they could have big seasons if they really take that on board and move things forward. So I think Andrew's pulled a blinder, to be honest, with his selection to mitigate losing Kane and losing Hugo Lloris also as well.
Maz, can I ask you a question on what you just said? Do you think Son becoming the captain will elevate his game this season?
I hope so. Like I said, for me, Son, if you look at the last 7 seasons that he's been playing, aside from last season, I always felt that in a way he was better than Kane. He was really influential for us. He was a great player. He's one of our best players in different ways. Obviously, he hasn't got the same goal contributions, but I hope he does. Still, what we don't know with Sonny, and this is just a personal opinion. It's not backed up by any data. Is that we don't know whether now he's in his 30s whether he'll have the same fitness and and whether his performances will drop off because he is that bit older and he's maybe lost half a yard. But there's, we won't know until we see a little bit more of him.
Does anyone else here think this is a bad decision? Or is everyone like, no, Sonny?
Let me put it to you this way.
I said I would have given it to Basuma only because I don't like forward players being the captain. I like captains to be further back. But that was the only reason. It wasn't because I never thought Son would be good enough. It's more about positional play on the pitch.
But Son plays on the left, so he is a forward, but he does link with the midfield.
I'm talking about a centre back, a holding mid. That role, I think, is best.
Because normally it's
everything.
Idea, but who are you going to give it to? Centre back. At the end of the day, man, they got.
That's why I said Basuma.
Let me put it to you this way: how would you have felt if the likes of Davis and Dyer, being at how long they've been there as long as they have, they would have been brought in with Son and say,
I'd blow everything up.
trio.
I'd blow it all up.
Do you see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? So we have to say
that's why there's mutiny.
Yeah, that's why. And this is H. Now you know my thinking. The fact that these two guys have been excluded tells you that that's part of the mutiny, and it doesn't take very much to that. So Maz is right. And just pulled a blinder. He wants to move with the new era. These players. And those two players in particular have been left out. Maybe there's one or two other. Maybe Højbjerg. Højbjerg might feel hard done by.
Last night on the show, right? I said, out of respect, you give it to Son. From a tactical point of view, I would have given it to Basuma. And what you just said there, go 3 months ago and listen to what I said when we did a Monday night show. I said, one of the first things Ange has, the new manager, because we didn't know who it was. I said, whoever the new manager is, one of the first things they've got to do is tear up this player committee, whatever it is, because the dressing room should be the player committee. If you're in that dressing room, you're part of the committee as a whole. This separate section is bullshit. Like, it's caused all the problems. So I hope Ange is actually, by doing this, I hope what he's actually doing is, do you know what? I'm going to chip away at this committee until there's no one in the club that was part of that committee. Now we don't need it. It's gone. I hope that's what he's
Kane leaving though.
If Ange does that, hats off to him.
Kane leaving. Listen, I would never have wanted Kane to leave, but Kane leaving perhaps is the start of breaking that up. The Kane was the building that was keeping it this. So maybe him leaving it will help. But with that, and look, at the end of the day, and my sons were telling me there was a video of Ange Postecoglou. I haven't actually. Ange Postecoglou spoke to the team and said announced Son and explained the blah blah blah.
Yeah,
there's a video of that. And listen, I need to see it, but listen, maybe you're right. All we can judge on is what we see, what we hear.
I think I know what you're trying to say there, Iggy. Ange basically said that Son being captain is not just about him as an individual. It's about how everyone responds and leads by example. And that he also mentioned as well that the dressing room is there, effectively a safe space where they can speak their mind and all discuss things. He's not going to interfere with the dressing room. But anything outside of the dressing room is Ange's space. And then when they go out on the pitch or when they train, right, that's where he expects them to lead by example and the professionalism, which I thought was fantastic.
Do you know what? Can I just throw something in? But do you know what? I really wouldn't be surprised if Andrew's had a meeting with Levy as well regarding Sonny being the captain. Sonny's the money maker out of all the players. One of the money makers is gone now, Kane. Yeah. In fact, when you go into the Spurs shop, there used to be about 10 rows for Sonny and about 4 rows for Kane, 5 rows for Kane. Sonny makes the money for the club. Putting him as captain of Tottenham now has probably put a massive chunk of money more into the Spurs' coffers, like sponsorship wise.
Marketing wise makes sense. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's massive. It's huge. The captain of Tottenham Hotspurs, yeah, right, is Heung-Min Son.
First South Korean in our history.
Oh yeah, like 100%. And that's why, like, all right, think Andrew's done a good thing, but I reckon he's had a conversation. He must have had a conversation about this player committee. Levy's probably turned around and said, "All right, Kane's gone now. You disband it, like, because the rest of them, like, and that's why he's probably, because really, when you think about it, no matter what, yeah, Dyer and Davis, yeah, like have been here. They were here as long as Kane, yeah, and Sonny. In fact, Sonny came after, yeah. Now the thing is, what they're probably pissed off is, all right, you gave it to Sonny, but we should have been part of it. We should have been either the second, one of us should have been vice captain. He's literally just said to, I think he's turned and said, guys, you're not in my plans, or you're going to be on the subs bench. You got to prove it to me. Like, and that's what's probably happened. But I really think, I don't think Ange would have made like such a big decision without basically speaking to Levy. And as I said, for a business decision wise, it's huge. It's going to bring them more money, and like
Ed makes a brilliant point here, by the way.
Sorry, I can't see. By the way, I can't see the. I'm literally doing this from my phone, so
I'll read it out to you, right?
Yeah, go on, mate.
So Ed M says, what Ange has done in appointing captain, vice captain it's a very NFL thing. You got the captain of the defense, the captain of the midfield, and the captain of attack. And when you think about it, Romera's defense, Madison's midfield. So he's aligned a leader within each layer.
Yeah.
That's a very good point. That's
good. Good spot.
Yeah.
I think another thing too. I think maybe Ange will bring in, because I've still, and you didn't know I've said this, and even Maz. Another thing that has had us suffer and why we lost to in the Europa League, we lost to Sheffield United B team. Is that our team wasn't smart. The intelligence on the field was lacking, and we lacked that big time. And so now the hope is, now that you have Madison in, Sarr, now he's growing, and Basuma, the Ange is like, okay, let's have that intelligence to come in. Not to say Conte and Jose didn't believe in that, because they coached some real smart teams. I think now there is maybe, I don't know, maybe the fear's not there, or maybe it's just, for some reason, Ange has now found a way to maybe make this team a smarter team. I hope so, because now with this leadership team that's going to be led by Sonny, now we need to see now some intelligence coming in, because that's the one thing that we have lacked these last couple of seasons, is just intelligence on the field.
Can I just say something? There's one thing do you know what I actually mentioned in Twitter, but I haven't mentioned here. If there's one thing that's actually pissed me off about all of this, though, is how the amount of disrespect the club, partly Ange as well, has shown on Hugo Lloris. I don't know what's happened, but that guy has just literally he's still at the club. You never saw him in any of the games. You didn't see him anywhere. He's probably sitting in Paris or somewhere. But I still thought, right, okay, it's his last, put it this way, he's going. Apparently, he's almost finalising a deal with Lazio. That's what I've heard, like that he's probably going to Lazio. But they should have basically given him a send-off. Like, I just think it's out of order. Like,
Kane never got a send-off. Kane
was still within the actual group, so he pretty much said his byes after the Shakhtar game. You saw him walking around waving.
But Lloris, when he came back, said he straight away wanted to leave.
But weren't we all told when they flew abroad for the tour that Lloris was going to stay here to sort out the move to his club?
But even then, we still think like he's been here longer than Dyer, Davies.
I know what you mean, H. But I think as well that when we got humiliated 6-1 at Newcastle, he was one of the players that didn't want to come out at half time.
Yeah, I know that.
That's where maybe he fell out with quite a lot of them, maybe in that respect.
Yeah, no. Apparently, he had a fight with Kane. I think it was. He had a fight with Kane, like at that time, or Herberg, one of those two. but he had a huge row. Like, I don't know what. The thing is, we can only speculate. But what I'm saying is, as a club captain, as a servant to the club who's been there for, I think, 10 years, yeah, literally not even we like to say thank you. Not even a statement. Not even a statement by the club.
Other than Ledley King, every player that's left hasn't had a proper send-off, other than Ledley King.
Yeah, I know. No, I know that. I think
the issue we got with Lloris was that differences to Kane. Kane said, look, he made and said it. If a deal came in and it was serious, he would look to move on. However, if it weren't, then he would give his all for Spurs. That was the difference between him and Lloris. Lloris, the moment that he came down, the moment he came back to literally said straight away that he's done. He wants to go. He wants to try something different. So from that moment, he was no longer part of the Tottenham setup. So it was just a question. That's why we went to Australia. We went to Thailand and left him back here to sort his next team out. And that's where that's why he hasn't worn a Spurs shirt again. But I think it was done unanimous that together with the that's the decision that was taken. It's like, you sort yourself out.
One of the comments someone made about that's what they done to Pat Jennings. It's true. That's what they done to him. Like they pretty much he didn't want to go. He got when Pat Jennings went to Arsenal, he begged the club, please don't transfer me. Begged them. He didn't want to go. Yeah, when Terry Neal bloody sort of buggered off like an ex-Schooner anyway. He was managing us at the time. Like he went to Arsenal. He took Pat Jennings with him, but Pat Jennings begged the club, please don't send me there. And the club turned around and said, no, you got to go. You're part of the deal. Fuck off, basically. And that's what happened. It's not like us to not listen.
It's not like us to not listen. Normally, we listen to people and we embrace what they have to say and we show him, empathy.
No, but as I said, going back to it, he should get literally even a message from the club. Or they'll probably waiting until he actually leaves and goes and just a little short thank you, thank you for your service. Well done.
Look at the way Toby left. Look at the way Vertonghen left. Look at the shit we put Danny Rose through, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah, I know. I know. I actually feel sorry for Danny Rose. When I watch him and hear him, you could see how much he's been affected. His mental state. I actually worry for his mental state.
The boy had mental health issues. Look at Dele Alli, right?
Yeah.
We don't show care for our players when the exit door begins to open. It's almost like, that's it. Thanks for everything. And that's one thing a lot of other clubs bigger than us, ex-players often say. I've noticed this with Spurs. Ex-players love Tottenham. They love their time at the club and they love the fans. There's a connection with the fans, but there isn't a connection with the club as a whole. Well, he goes back before Levy as well, Iggy. Whereas you listen to other ex-players, and they seem to embrace the club as a whole. There's a disconnect between. It's not just Levy and Enoch with Sugar, Scholar. Yeah, there's always a disconnect between. We've never really had good owners in general for a long time.
Is it because correlation? Maybe because of not winning the league. I know, the FA. I know they won the FA Cup, the League Cup, some European competitions, but not winning the league since the 60s. Would you say probably maybe that might be a factor too? That in the sense that we have never gotten to that point of where we've won the league. Because you always hear former Liverpool players and United players, and talk about, remember when we won the league, or and it's kind of like a fraternity. Whereas our club, we've had people who played and then they've gone to another team, Sheringham, Harvard, and so on.
Maury, it's always been like this. We just have this real disconnect. But do you know what it is? I always feel the owners of Tottenham are always too financial. They're too. You need a business.
They are money men. They're businessmen. The owners of Tottenham have always been businessmen.
I mean, I've got nothing wrong with businessmen, but it's.
Now, do you know what? Like going back to it,
Someone's
Irving
actually got
Scholar.
a genuine love and a hunger and a passion for success on the pitch. Like it means something to them. Like Roman Abramovich, for all his flaws and all the criticism he gets, my God, he thrived off of winning trophies. Like it meant everything to him.
Do you know what? I wish I was in that room when he had a meeting with Daniel Levy to buy it. Like I would like knocked Daniel Levy out and said, "Yeah, we accept." Like, and just give us the documents and get put under Daniel Levy's head and sign it.
He probably asked for £2 billion 20 years ago.
Yeah. No, he turned him down. He actually turned him down, saying like he said no.
Exactly. Daniel
and
Levy
that's why. Sorry, go on, Matt. Go on, Matt. Go on.
I was just going to say, Daniel Levy tried to buy a share in Tottenham twice and got turned down. So I've said to Stella on a couple of occasions, we're going to need dynamite to get Daniel Levy out of Tottenham. You imagine getting shares on your third attempt.
They're not under enough pressure to be sold. Why should he sell this cash cow? He's earning millions out of it. He's under
no. But that's what I'm saying. Like you need like a state, like someone like from a state, like obviously the guy from who's trying to buy United, that Sheikh Jassim. You need someone like him, like who's got the state behind him. Like
money's no object.
Yeah. Set it for 3.5, 4 billion. They'll take that. They'll accept that. But the thing is,
I'm not sure.
I don't think you're going to get any, like, because you've got to remember, like the guy who bought, what's his name, Bowley, who bought Chelsea, Abramovich wiped the debt. He wiped the debt. Otherwise, if that debt was there, they wouldn't have bought the club. Yeah. He turned around. I think it was about 1.5 billion. He turned around and said, "Right, you're debt free. Like I don't want a single penny."
Can I throw a wild card in there? And here's the reason why I say, because I try to stay hopeful. It's very hard for me personally seeing Daniel Levy sell this club. It's because every time, and I hear from the States, the NFL wants to expand. Right now, they finally returned back to Germany. They played 2 games in Germany. Their plan, the NFL, is to put one team in 4 international teams, one in Mexico, one in London, one in Germany, and one they were thinking one in Canada.
Mari, I told you we're going to be the Tottenham Tornadoes or the Hotspur Hurricanes. It's coming. I've been saying this for months.
Franchise. If Daniel Levy and Edict are awarded an NFL franchise,
we're going to get it.
Automatically gets billion like this, and then that means Super Bowls.
Mari.
Daniel Levy. I have to say this: Daniel Levy will be an idiot financially wise, because if you put yourself in Daniel Levy's shoes, wait, I can get an NFL team. Why would I sell? Right? Unless some Middle Eastern person or whatever is offering me $10 billion. Even that, I'm thinking, I don't know if the worst thing that can happen to us as a fan base is if we get an NFL team, which is not far-fetched because the NFL's talking about it within their 5-year plan. If that happens, we are so effed. I'm telling you, it would. Daniel Levy be like, "Yeah, I'm not selling my shares. I am not selling my shares."
Yeah, we're going to be the bottle job Bulldogs.
No, but you know what? Like, another thing, Mari, you know how the Tavistock work in what they've done in Orlando. I know exactly what they've done. Yeah, right. Now, when I earlier on told you guys, that is the borough of Haringey, and
we went from Heung-Min son captain to Tavistock in Florida.
No, I'm not. Listen, I'm going to drop this. Everyone thinks that this F1 contract that they've got is just for go-karting. It isn't. It's a lot bigger than you're going to put it this way, once they've done what they need to do, as I said, the stadium is a unicorn. It's basically, it's a hypnosis for fans. They are looking at that stadium and think, oh, we've got a shiny stadium for Tottenham Hotspurs. What they don't realise, we all know it's a cash cow already, the amount of money that club is generating, yeah? But once all of the areas, surrounding areas in Haringey and Enfield are basically, as I said, they've bought up land, there's bought up so much like properties over there. With regarding the Formula One, yeah, don't be surprised, yeah, if you hear that they're going to literally try and like build a track within that area. Their whole purpose is these two boroughs, yeah, they want to turn into like a huge attraction place where people can come in, you can watch a game, an NFL game. That's why the 5-star hotel is being built outside the stadium. Yeah, and they're going to be the first one. They're going to build other ones around that area. You're going to have literally like, put it this way, I better shut up. I can't say anymore. But if you get the gist, that's what I'm saying. That is what their plan is. NFL team, Formula One track.
Let me bring
and they'll succeed.
Because I've got a feeling we're going to go down the Enoch and leave you out for another hour. We've already done 1 hour on it.
No. We've done it. Right.
Listen, if there's one channel that doesn't mind it, it's this one. It's this one. But there's other football bits I want to cover up, and it's getting to 12 o'clock. I wanted to get everyone's views and opinions on Ange's actual comments that he made today. He said, with all these things, so he's talking to Harry about Harry Kane leaving. He says, with all these things, there's opportunity. What you've got to try and do is what the great clubs do. The great organizations replace greatness with greatness. Is that a message to Levy? I don't know. How that comes about is not easy, but that's what the big clubs do. They find a way to sustain and maintain and grow even when the greatest leave their doors. Now, I just want to remind you of something Conte said. We need to spend 60, 70 million pounds on 2 players every window. Now, without saying exactly that, Ange said what great clubs do, the great organizations, is replace greatness with greatness. Okay, is Ange not now seeing what Conte saw and kind of saying the same thing, or is he not?
Basically just said everything I was going to say. Conte's effectively said the same thing, right? You need to consistently invest in the football side of things, right? So when your great players leave, you don't deteriorate. And it actually is quite apt. So the commentators were talking about RB Leipzig losing 3 of their best players, right? And they've recruited really well, and it hasn't affected them. In fact, they look stronger than what they did last year. We're not looking stronger without Harry Kane, are we? We don't even know who his replacement is going to be.
Well, it's Richarlison and Veliz.
The pigeon
and the young boy from Argentina, as it stands.
Yeah.
Donna, the status of the mugs delivery. Iggy has the mugs now, and he is shipping them out this week. So the mugs will be with Maz and Lee ASAP.
Donna, don't you worry. I've spoken to both guys, and it's all sorted out. Do not stress.
Can't believe we get a mug update.
Maz is here in person. He can verify that I've already spoken to him earlier today.
Yes.
And but guys, what I will say is this to those of you: how many are in the chat? 560.
500.
Guys,
yeah.
We're just over 50 from 4,700. Do me a favor, guys. If you've liked the content, what we guys are doing, big up, giving a smash a like for the guys in the panel, man, who are giving you some brilliant content. But smash a subscribe for the channel. I'm telling you now, there's going to be a shitload of content coming your way on match days and beyond. Let's get us. It's over 50 subscribers to get to 4,700. We got 550 odd in the chat. Smash that. And let's see. I reckon I've got a bet on Wistel. He's laughing. I got a bet on Wistel.
No, I'm laughing because you're the best salesman. There's a shitload of content. There's a shitload of new gear coming in on the shelves next week, people. Roll up.
We have. There's a shitload of content because one thing Tottenham will never fail on. It's
News.
providing
Yeah,
content.
for us to talk
Never.
about, yeah.
Man City. Tonight's content. Let's say we're all Man City fans. Let's have a little bit of a laugh for a minute or so. We're all Man City fans here, right? Imagine a get together tonight. That's a great win against Burnley tonight, eh? Fucking Haaland smashed them. Blah 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 blah. Where's the content, man? It's gonna be just like, probably gonna win another Premier League this year. Might get in a couple of FA Cups and the EFL. You know what? Do you reckon can we do it again? Come on, man. We don't have this conversation.
How is he playing? What's wrong with this?
We're talking about protests. We're talking about Dyer. We're talking about Sanchez at the club. Lloris, he's not here or there. We've got so much to talk about. And we haven't even started talking. Guys, we've been going on about for 2 hours. This is how great Tottenham is. We've been talking for 2 hours straight. We haven't even touched the subject of Brentford tomorrow. We've not even touched that subject yet. We got a match.
Funnily enough.
Guys, for that reason, I'm saying just smash that subscribe, man. It'd be great support to our channel. And second time around, by the way, because the channel we had was on a lot more numbers, and now here we are again doing it the second time around. Big up,
that's
guys.
a great cue to have a look at today's matches, people. So let's look into it. Man City beat Burnley yesterday quite comfortably. Although Burnley played quite well, I thought. Arsenal beat Nottingham Forest 2-1, kind of flat as Nottingham Forest. Arsenal were much, much better than Forest. But there was a bit of a nervy scare at the end when Nottingham Forest got a goal. Palace beat Sheffield United. West Ham drew Bournemouth. Brighton smashing Luton. Fulham beating Everton. I mean, they're Everton going to be in trouble again. Listen, this was the game that we all said would be close. We didn't. Newcastle battered Villa, man. Like they battered that high line that Aston Villa played was suicide. Did anyone see the game?
Yep.
Or the highlights?
Battered them.
I'm shocked. I will admit. I know Tyrone Mings got injured, which was pretty gruesome. I hope he recovers well. And Pau Torres came in. People already say Pau Torres, that's his first game. All right, it's his first game. But you gotta say Newcastle came in. Isaac almost had a hat trick. Newcastle came in and they pumped. I mean, they could have had more. They pumped Villa, and very impressive. I think by far they've had the most impressive, other than Brighton. Brighton was really, really good. City, of course, but wow.
I actually was a bit, because the Newcastle game, I don't know whether you watched a couple of the goals that they scored. They were offside. Like last season, they would put a line through offside. But this time they were offside. You could see 2 of the goals, but they gave the goals. I was saying, oh, it's offside. But now Richarlison should get his goals.
Guys, do you not feel though? Do you not feel? I mean, it was a great game of football, first and foremost. Great attacking, goals galore, blah blah blah. But do you not feel, from a defensive point of view, man? It's fucking shocking. It was like some of the defenders tonight were.
And Aston Villa was so well organised last season under Unai Emery. They were really well organised last season when he took over. So,
but do you not feel that the defenders tonight, the position like that high up, and then one ball split, couple of goals? I mean, Barnes could have set up. Wilson was it Wilson? It took so long to square it to him, and then after
as a Spurs fan, I find it hard to criticise other teams defending. Personally speaking,
you know what? Conversation done.
I feel
conversation done.
Personally, compared to us, I thought it weren't too bad. Actually, I was all right.
No, but I listen. I'm talking about from Aston Villa, from what Emery play.
They were too high up. He had them too high up.
One ball, and they were in all the time.
But can I say something? The way Ange set the teams up, that's how he sets them up. Too high up. We're going to be in serious trouble. Yeah, what's this delivery slip again?
No, I think what Donna's referring to, the mugs that I'm due to send out to both Lee and Maz. It's happening, but there's going to be a little bit of delay, Donna, because they're both going away on holiday. So it's all been arranged that it will be sent to them at the end of the month. Maz is right here. He can confirm. So, Donna, do sleep easy tonight. You've got a big game tomorrow, and I want to see you pumped up tomorrow for that game.
How is everyone feeling about the? And I know we've spoken about it a few times about the match this week. Has anyone had a change of view or opinion now that Son's captain, Maddison and Romero getting maybe a little bit of an extra boost through vice captaincy roles? Does anyone think now maybe, you know what, we might win this? Or is it? Are you still thinking, nah,
that highline worries me. Like that guy that they got, the two of their forwards that are playing tomorrow. Yeah, Wissa and what's his name? Mbuana. Yeah. Like if we play that eye line, we're in trouble because they will catch us. Like, and the pace that both of them have got, Van der Veen's gonna. If he does start Van der Veen, like he's gonna have his work cut out because there's no way Romero's catching him unless he brings him down.
Is VDV playing, guys? Is VDV playing?
I think so. I think Ange was asked the question on Friday, I think, and he said he needs time to settle in. It's not just about settling into the team. He goes from experience as a manager. When you move country, he's got to set his family in, move his furniture and his belongings into his house. So from the sounds of it, I don't think he's playing. I don't think he's
Brian, this is what the mugs look like since you asked so nicely in the comments. There you go, mate.
So I think he won't be playing. It's probably going to be Romero and Sanchez, isn't it? That looks like the partnership. If he goes to a back three, it'll probably be with Ben Davies. I don't think he'll start.
Do you know what? Do you feel like Sanchez deserves this start? Do you think there's? I mean, obviously, if Davies is the only other alternative, then at least going from that Barcelona.
The problem with Sanchez is he does this. He'll have a performance where you think, oh, that's the Sanchez we bought, and then.
So do you go with Davies then, or do you just throw VDV at the?
No, Davies has got no pace, man. He'll get.
No, I'm saying, do you? We have to play someone with Romero. Who you guys go?
You'll have to go with Sanchez.
One at the back, 7 in midfield. One at the back, 7 in midfield.
You'd have to go with Sanchez. You'd have to go with Sanchez for pace, just because of the pace. Like, but even then. Every time he runs too fast, he falls flat on his face.
Who's Matt? What's your back? What would you do?
I'd throw the kid in. I'd throw him in.
Sink or swim.
Yeah, just throw him in. I think we saw at the Tottenham Stadium Ben Davies. Against Brentford towards the end of the season, he cannot run. So even though Ben Davies has predominantly played with Romero in the friendlies, he's got no pace. So it's either Van der Ven or Sanchez, just simply for the pace. But I'd just throw the kid in and just sink or swim.
Still, the chats are going really fast. There's a couple of the 2 or 3 in the comments that want the mug. Can you tell them to the email address that they send their request in? So, because like this, we're not gonna remember. And the comments are just like.
Guys, I'll put an email address now in the comments, and then you can just email us, and then I'll get Iggy to sort it out with you guys. Mari, what would you do about the defense? Do you agree with Matt? What Matt said?
I'm leaning towards that because, I'm just tired of Dyer and Sanchez. I don't want to see him anymore. I'm really sick to my stomach. And now with Dyer separating himself from the club and all right, you're done. Tear up his contract. Find some championship team or. Everton maybe. Some of them. Let's get the kid in. He's been playing games. So put him in. I'm all for it.
Would any of you go to a back three tomorrow, or
No,
Is it going to be a back
don't
four?
start messing about with all of that.
Yeah.
Come on, man. All pre-season we're playing back four, and now all of a sudden, we're gonna surprise everyone, including the players. Back three. Nah, we need.
It
we
would.
need to...
It would unset. We literally got an email straight away about a mug. I just put the email up there.
Fair enough. That's the whole point, right?
We no respect to that. And I'm just saying, would it not throw a little bit of a curveball to Brentford's plans if we suddenly turn up with a three at the back, two holding mids?
The problem is with that, still the bigger curve will come back on us. We surprise them. We end up surprising ourselves more.
If we turn up with
we
Dyer,
surprise
Sanchez
them
and Davies, so
surprise them and ourselves. Imagine the team, and when Andy goes back three, guys, it'll be like, what's going on? We've had a shit enough pre-season as
times,
it is.
though, I'm saying because there's at times when I saw it against West Ham when we attacked, it looked like we went into a back three. We looked like.
I think the way we go with our fullbacks, we do shift. Like even with a back four, there is an element of where like. I think
so. What if we went to a back three with two centre backs and one of the wing backs who's got pace? Mind you, actually no, the wing backs can't defend.
I think what happens is that it goes to like a 3-4-3. When one of the
it does.
When one of the wing backs or left and right backs go up, they just slot into a 3, while that attack is transitioning from defence to attack. So.
I think, guys, the midfield, we're going to be all right in midfield. I think the games will be either won or lost on the wide areas, especially with Brentford's wingers and our fullbacks. Even if you look at that Barcelona game, really, we was battered on the sides. They're defensively in the wings. I know they got good wingers, Barca, but to be honest with you, that the fella that H was mentioning, I can't remember. It plays on the right, on their right. Our left-hand side. I was there for that home game against Brentford last season. They absolutely ripped us a new Davis and that. So yeah, he killed us in that second half. 10 minutes spell. They battered us, and we had Davis and Longley close together. They rinsed us. 10 minutes. They literally went from 1-0 down to 2-1.
The problem is though, is our midfield was terrible at that point, though, right? I mean, like. It says a lot.
Yes, go on. Sorry, go on, man. Sorry.
I was going to say, when you got a midfield that isn't really protecting that, well, I know that back line in the same way, because that's how Conte set up, right? Is to protect the back four. And when we played, was it Mason's first game? Was it his first game? Bloody, I can't remember last year now.
Yeah, it was. I think
it was. Guys,
I think it was.
Matt, so people asking about the mug and why it's in the US. Just so you know, you're not going to buy the mug for a club shop. You're going to email us, and then I'm going to let Iggy know, and then Iggy's going to sort it out with you. Iggy gets them made.
Obviously, the posters.
Iggy gets them made here in the UK.
Yeah, here in the UK. So the posters are packaging. In your UK will apply, and then if it's overseas, then obviously I'll have to look in. But it's not so, I'll have to look in.
And no, they're not Levy prices. Someone said, "Are they Levy prices?" No, they're not.
They're not. It's just it'll be the cost of the mug.
It's £5 for the mug, £20 for Iggy's pocket, and £2 for postage.
No, guys, we'll email you the cost. Obviously, depending where you live, will be the cost of the postage, the packaging, and of course the price of the mug.
Iggy, how much is the mug? Everyone's asking, how much is the mug?
That's a good one.
It's £10 for a mug, £10 for the mug itself, and then obviously postage and packaging, depending where it is that you live. If you live in London, like in our case, like Maz, and it's different because they live in the UK. Outside the UK, it'd be a different price. I don't know, man. I have to go to Royal Mail and find out the prices. It's not something that actually it won't probably be me. It'll probably be the missus doing that. So.
Does a free tea bag come with the mug, Iggy?
Free. You see, you have to understand because in the UK, tea bag it means tea bag and means something else as well. So be careful when we talk about tea bagging, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that kind of show, guys, tonight. There you go. Look, Sophie, bang on cue. Look, Iggy doesn't know because I post them. So I basically hand it over to her and say, look, can you guys sort this out? I'll sort out the mugs and then like leave the poster back. But guys, if you're interested, email me. Let us know where you live, obviously. Not literally like just the country, and because I know you guys are all over the world in the chat. So let me know, blah, 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 and we'll try and find out what the cost of the posting and packaging is. And you guys know the price of the mug as it is. All right, hope that settles it up. I didn't realize there was so much interest on the mug. Thank you, Donna, for bringing us a little bit of business. Very unlike you, Donna, I have to say. Donna Cullen sending Tottenham away some business. Big up.
Levy's going to tell her off tomorrow morning. Levy's going to have you in the boardroom. Emergency meeting.
Do you know what? If you live in the USA, then maybe Will can sort out something from over there, so it cuts out the extortion.
Yeah, if you live in America, Will's got a company.
Probably
that does,
Will
like,
might be
shirts
the
and mugs
fair.
and whatever. Yeah.
We'll arrange it with Will, so at least you don't have to pay the overseas postal package, which is an absolute extortion. He can sort it out from over there. So we will sort it. It'll take a little bit of time to get around it, but we will sort it out.
You know, when you all came on the show tonight, did you think we'd spend 10 minutes talking about mugs?
I didn't realise there was that much interest. I can't believe it.
Did anyone think tonight, when I messaged you saying, do you want to come on?
Very tired that
mugs.
Are you guys worried about tomorrow's game? Like, are you worried? Are you worried because it's the first one? Or are you worried because you don't know what Tottenham's going to turn up? Or are you worried about Brentford? Or is it just the feeling?
Do you know what worries me? Is the high line. The high line. That's what worries me. Playing it against. Well, as you said, you saw what they done when we pushed up last time. And if Van der Beek ain't playing, then I'll worry, because they would use it to their advantage. You know what? Like, Ange sticks to his guns and he will play his way no matter what. He's blatantly turned around and said it. And if we're playing that high line, if we get caught, Brentford are going to use it to their advantage. They've got pacey forwards. They'll just literally lob it over. There'll be a last line of defense, and it'll be a race to see who gets there. And what scares me is Vicario's. Is it Vicario, the keeper?
Yeah,
that is his name. Yeah. Vicario's shown us that he doesn't come out of his box. Like he literally, he doesn't even come out to 6 yard. Like he literally just stands by the goal, and that's what worries me. So, yeah.
I think the issue we've got tomorrow is that we're playing against a manager who's savvy, and he will have done his homework on us. Thomas Frank will strategize. I swear on my life, if Danny Kay comes on now when I'm about to wrap up the show, this guy is a disgrace. He literally waits until we're going to end the show.
Don't worry for ending.
That's right.
Thomas,
you know what? No. Still,
he'll know how. Thomas Frank will know how to target us. He'll know how to target us, which is my worry. If it was like maybe a Luton Town or one of those managers, I think would be all right. But Thomas Frank's good. Like,
all the teams know how to target us. I mean, one ball over the top, done.
Yeah.
but Maz, what I'm saying is, if you play De Zerbi's Brighton, they're only going to play one way.
Yeah.
If you play Arsenal, they're only going to play one way. There's certain managers that play to the weakness of the opposition.
Yeah.
Thomas Frank is one of those. Listen, Arsenal would beat us. Arsenal would beat us anyway because they're better than us. But there's certain managers like Mourinho. I know he's defensive, but he will spot a weakness and target.
He will. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Thomas Frank will do that, and that's what worries me about tomorrow's game. That's my concern. He's a strategist. Ten Hag's the same. Ten Hag can tweak it to vaporize your weakness. But Danny, how you doing, man? Big up.
Yeah.
Danny's been analysing the show.
No, it's been a good show. No. I was interesting about what you guys are saying about
the mugs.
If we Go for it. Yeah, I was just thinking. I don't know if you touched.
You keep stopping and starting, Danny.
Keep breaking up, mate. Come out the cupboard and then you might get some reception.
And there you go. That was Danny Kiriakou joining us for his valuable input in tomorrow's game. Danny, thank you for that. Yeah, I mean, does anyone like feel a bit more confident now? Obviously, that Son's a captain. Do you think it might galvanise us to get a win tomorrow? Do you think Son will go out there thinking, do you know what, I'm gonna get this win under my belt. I'm gonna get some goals.
I'm tempted to change my 3-3 prediction to 3-2 Spurs. I'm really tempted. But let's Spurs give the year 3-2 Spurs.
I really hope that Ange plays Son in Kane's position, and he doesn't just leave Son on the left and put Richarlison up there. I really hope Richarlison doesn't play this season. That's what I'm basically saying.
65 million down the drain, Maz.
We've lost
we're not,
more with other players. I mean,
I'm telling you, like, do you know what, Maz? You're saying that, yeah. I think this will be a good season for him. Why? Because they've changed the offside rule. Like, so you don't have to be literally like your toe. Before it was your toe, you'll be offside. You can have half of your body offside, and the goal will count. So I think it'll be all right for just because of that. Otherwise, if it was last season's rules, then yeah.
I just don't think he's a good player. I'm really not a fan of Richarlison. I don't. You know, he's good at pressing and chasing things down, but for me, he's more on the floor than he's actually standing up and being a footballer. And he's constantly looking for a foul rather than playing the ball. It's just, I don't think he's a good player.
Do you know what? Like, I think that now is his opportunity to turn around and prove himself, because when you really think is, no matter how much of a good player you are, yeah, unless you're Odegon Solskjaer, he's the only footballer that I knew and saw that literally could be on the substitute bench for pretty much the whole season, but yet those 15-20 minutes that he gets, he would always make an impact. Richarlison's not that type of a player. He needs games behind him. Now, once the team gels, now he's got the chance to gel with the team. Yeah, like, I don't know what he was doing in training or whatever. Now he's got the opportunity. If he stays injury-free, I think he'll score about 15 goals. I actually think he's capable of scoring about 15 goals.
Yeah, there was a gentleman who put up his stats for the last 5 years, and it was like 3, 10, 13, 1, 2. You know, it was inconsistent. That's the thing, isn't it? He has to stay injury free. He has to have a run in the team. But is it going to be the case? Will we allow him to have a run in the team if he's not performing? I'm not so sure Ange will trust him for like 10 games, for example. I think he'll switch it up because he needs results.
I don't think at the moment Ange's got a choice, really, because we ain't got a number 9. He's the only number 9 we've got, unless he's going to be ready to play Dane Scarlett. Like, I don't think that. Sorry, like, I'm just blabbering on. Like Danny, welcome back, mate.
No, it's good chat. I'm listening.
I was going to say, I hope Son plays that number 9 role. I think that's where he can really flourish and show.
I don't think Son's the number 9. I don't think he's good with his head. You've got to be decent with your head. Son can barely I think since Son has been there, I've only seen him like use his head about 3 or 4 times. You can count on probably both hands. And all the time Son's been there, him using his head. He just doesn't. He's not that type of a player. The ball has to be played on the ground. A cross comes in. Sonny's. How many headers has Sonny scored since he's been at Tottenham? I think one. The only one that I can remember, and even pointed to his head and started laughing as he was celebrating. So,
come on, guys. I'm going to lose this bet with Stell.
It's a good point, H. I mean.
But that's the reason why I don't think Sonny. Like, I reckon Perisic will probably be a better number 9 than Sonny.
The thing is, I guess my only rebuttal to that would be: is Richarlison good with his head? Because I don't think he is. I mean, what is actually
Yeah,
Richarlison?
no,
Yeah.
Richarlison can score with his head.
He's not
Well,
good of his head,
he-
H.
he's-
He's not
he's-
good of his head.
No,
He's
He,
not.
no, he put it this way. He's better than Sonny. He scored more goals with his head than Sonny has.
Yeah,
And
he
you got to
has, but
also
he's-
remember, yeah, Richarlison can't be that bad of a player. Yeah, that
He is.
he doesn't let. Yeah, look, I'm not a Richarlison
I
fan.
know
I never
that.
was. I never wanted us to sign him. But what I will say is that he kept what's it, the Arsenal striker that everyone said that they wanted. Jesus. He's kept him at as the number 9. Jesus couldn't score a goal for his life in that Brazil side.
H, and what a mistake that was for Brazil, eh? Imagine what they could have achieved otherwise.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. Like, you've got Jesus, and Richarlison's basically replaced him as the main number 9. Now,
But the Brazil
can't be
fans
that
aren't happy
bad.
with that though, H. Like
What's
the
that?
guy was the guys were he was being booed off by his own fans, Richarlison.
Yeah, no, do you know what? Like, I don't think like he's that bad. Like, he had a bad game, that one off, and then after that, then he scored those brilliant goals, and everyone started cheering for him.
Hey, let me ask something, right? When
Yeah,
you
go
think
on.
of when you think of Klinsmann, Sheringham, Keane,
Oh, you can't compare.
Berbatov,
You can't
Harry
compare.
Kane. Right. So this is my point. How can we praise him when he doesn't even come close to what
I
players
know,
that
but
have averaged
Yeah.
25, 30 a season, which is what we need?
But
That-
when you got
you
look, Klinsmann, we got when he was literally like on his. I think he had about 3 years. Like, he was about 31 when we signed Klinsmann, or 30 years old. Yeah,
Still
and in
didn't
those
do it.
days, 30 years old was old. It wasn't like it was like you normally would have had 2-3 years at the most.
Yeah, but what's that
Now,
got to do with it? He still delivered.
no, absolutely. But you're talking about Klinsmann. Come on, Klinsmann was one of the best strikers in the world at the time.
But that's what we were used to.
Like,
I've just mentioned the
Richard,
strikers
look,
that we've been used to, and
it's the
that
level
was just
where
to
we
get-
are
That was
still.
just to get. Huh?
Still, that's the thing. It's the level where we are. We're
Kane,
not like,
Kane was the level. Was that
yeah,
level.
but Kane was
our
our
level.
young.
Berbatov
He
was
was a
our
youth
level.
player.
Defoe was our level. Sheringham, King,
Berbatov came
they
for
were all
2
our level.
seasons and he left. Where did he go? He went to United to win trophies. We're a stepping
We still
stone
had
club.
Robbie Keane. We still had
Yeah,
Robbie Keane.
but even then, look what happened with Robbie Keane. Like, he went to Liverpool and he flopped.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is these strikers at Spurs were bloody good. Are we saying
Yeah,
Richarlison's at the level of what we used
No.
to?
I'm not saying. Look, I'm not saying
So
Richarlison's
therefore,
good.
this is my point. So how can we praise him then? How can we say no?
No. I'm not saying to praise him. What I'm saying is, at the end of the day, at the moment, at this current moment, we haven't got a number 9. Richarlison is our only number 9. We wasted £60 million on him, and like, I was one of those that was dead against that. Like, and I was literally tapping off. Yeah, and sending messages to all the sites, even yours. Like, at the time, I never used to. Like, I was on Tottenham away, and I was literally arguing. What's the guy who scammed everyone or scammed like
Bob.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, he was the only one who wanted Richarlison.
I was on your channel. Who's the guy that scammed everyone? Sell it.
And is it Sim or Sim from We Are Tottenham TV? Yeah, him. Them two were the only ones that wanted Richarlison. Like, all the YouTube community, like, no one really wanted him. I didn't want him, but what I'm saying is, currently he's our only number 9. So while he's our only number 9, we have to try and see what we can do.
You got the. Here's a question: who would start Veliz and Dane Scarlett over Richie? Would anyone do it?
First game of the season.
No, I don't think they would.
I wouldn't have a problem with them coming on.
No, the reason I'm saying is the amount of hate, the amount of shit that everyone gives Richarlison. I would have thought if he's that horrendous, then surely Scarlett gets a look in there.
No, but do you know what? Still,
we're not signing a number 9. By the way. We're not signing a number 9.
What did I say?
Iggy, can you read it? Because there's no way we're going to see it.
Alistair Gold put a tweet out whilst we was on here. Brand new Ange Postecoglou quotes for you speaks about Spurs transfer plan for the remainder of the season window and seems to suggest they won't go for another number 9. century stuff on how the signings are very much getting on and blah blah blah. But anyway, the highlight of the problem is that
we're
there's no
fucked if we don't
talks
get another 9.
of getting a number 9. It could be that they're downplaying it to then bring him in, or there could be like so they don't overinflate us with the price. It could be all mind games, but we can only go by what's been coming out and saying we're not looking at a number 9, and that fact that Richarlison, as H rightly say, is a number 9, but we could also play Son there if we needed because we've got wingers that can. Between Decky, Solomon. There you go.
So we'll negotiate for Orban.
Gift Orban. There's talks of him, but they want 30 million. We probably are offering 26, 27. We won't quite meet there. This is the thing. This is the thing. We never ever say, do you know what? We want 30 million. It's 30 million.
Yeah, I know. It always has to be 5 million less.
Never ever do that.
Always.
Can I?
Always got that haggling. Every time you just go, oh, for fuck's sake, man.
Hold on a minute. I've got one minute.
Just pay the price.
I've got a massive issue here. Like massive issue here. Right? If we're not going to buy another number 9, what is the point? What is the point of selling Kane for £90 million if we're not going to reinvest it?
Well, we spent 65 million on Richarlison last season. We've already spent it in advance.
No. So we've sold the best striker in the league, arguably one of the best in Europe, and we're not going to replace him. Even try to. We've got 90 million pound now sitting in the bank, and we're not going to access it to bring in some kind of replace. Are you kidding me?
No, we're going to.
How is that acceptable?
Still, we're going to put that money with that money that we had last summer in the kitty bag, and we're just going to keep it there.
No, you're wrong, Giggy. We're going to leave
too many in the squad. We've got 10. 12 players too many. There's 12 players that need to be shipped out.
Levy's currently buying more real estate. Like I'm telling you.
Still, we've spent money on Van der Ven, Maddison, Vicario. We've spent that money. So now we've sold Kane but we've spent on Vicario and Vidivi and what have you, and Maddison. That's a circle, isn't it? Some in, some out. We balance the book.
Yeah, see now if we don't bring in a player, the entire fan base should riot over this. We've put up ticket prices. You've sold the best player. You've got 80 odd million pounds coming in. Plus, you've got 10 players you've got to loan out or sell, which adds money to the kitty. There is no excuse in hell to not bring in
the ticket prices that have gone up.
It's unexpected.
The ticket prices have gone up this season, but for the last 4 years.
What's the excuse going to be?
Prices still. Some people will say the ticket price has gone up this season, but for the last 4 years, there've been no rise on ticket prices.
Still, didn't I say to you in the last show? I turned around and said to you, I can't remember when. Like the drugs are doing my head in. Like, sorry, not. I'm talking about meds. Yeah, I got to prove this. Yeah, right there you go. All different colours and sizes. Yeah, but what I'm saying,
take the red one. Take the red one.
It's a red pill.
Is it a red or blue?
I've got a blue pill or a red pill. Yeah, no, but do you know what?
I mean, leave you out.
Yeah, we can do that one.
You got any purple and gold ones?
Yeah. Take the purple and gold one.
Purple and gold ones.
Yeah, got purple and gold as well. There you go.
They're the ones. They're the ones.
Yeah, no, as I was saying, I said in the last show, like yesterday, before Kane was sold, well, he's just about to be, like, we're just about to be confirmed, yeah. I turned around and said to you, we're not going to spend the money. We're done with the money. This is the strategy that happens every flipping transfer window. We'll be in for this player, that player. Bids have gone in. Bids have literally, oh no, we're not going to pay that. We're going to move on to the next one, this one. Come deadline day, they might do one signing like Clement Longley, as we've got a backup defender, and that will be it. Shut. Spurs are doing no more business. And that's what's going to happen. Like, he is not, they're not going to go out and spend 60, 70 million on a striker.
Never said
they're
that.
not. It's just not going to happen.
Give Orban's 30 million, 25 million.
Orban, I think.
Gift Orban turned around and said he won't go to Arsenal because they don't win trophies. Why is he going to come to Spurs?
We just want the Tiger Cup. We just want the Tiger Cup.
Yeah, but it's different if you give a player from Genk, right, an opportunity in the Premier League for a team like Tottenham. When that happens, when that's on your door, not many players like of his level would say no, because for him it's a stepping stone, right? We're going to be a stepping stone club. If we sign him,
he turned around and
H,
stated,
how many players will say, "Oh, I'm not going to play there"? And then those clubs come up after them. And they go, "Oh yeah, I'll go there." It's when money in Premier League football comes at you fast, it's not.
Oh yeah, no, I know that. But why would he turn around and say, "I'm not going to Arsenal because they don't win trophies"?
Because he's ambitious. Because he's ambitious.
Then he'll come to Tottenham.
Yeah, but H, it could be another year or another 2 years before he gets an opportunity at a club like that. So if he's got a team like Tottenham right now who wants him and who says they're going to play him, then he's not going to say no to it because he could put himself on the map.
Yeah,
I think. Look, I personally think if we don't, I think we're going to sign Gift Orban. Personally, if we don't sign Gift Orban and we don't sign a striker this summer, I think we are absolutely fucked because people who think, and it's not aimed at you, H, people who think Richarlison's going to be enough, right? Let me tell you, I've already said this on another stream. Richarlison is going to be injured.
Danny,
right?
stop, please.
Hold on.
Please,
Let me finish.
No, I'm not a Richarlison
I know you're not. I know you're not. But listen, I'm just saying, right, about Richarlison, I personally think he's going to be injured for about 3 months of the season, I reckon, over the course of the season. And I think what that's going to do to him is that's going to affect his confidence, it's going to affect his rhythm, and it's going to affect him kind of trying to get into it. And then what I think is going to happen is during those periods where he's injured, Son will play through the middle. Son's going to prove to Ange how good he is through the middle compared to Richarlison, and he's going to lose his spot. That's what's going to happen. And that's why I don't think Richarlison's going to work as a number 9 at Spurs. I think it's too injury prone.
I just don't think Son's powerful enough to play through the middle.
I
don't think he's got strength. Like against the centre half, like he gets brushed off.
It's not about that. It's about the way you play football, right? You have to look at Kyogo at Celtic, the way Ange played with him. He's not a tall striker. He's not but he's quick, right? It's the way he plays the game. It's different. It's
Danny,
very different.
do you know what? Let me tell you one thing, yeah. I've seen that guy Kyogo playing. I watch a lot of Celtic, and this is before Ange, even when Brendan Rodgers was there. But what I'm saying to you is like that Kyogo might be short, but let me tell you one thing, yeah. Short players are difficult to play against as it is, especially if you're taller, because they're just like they have a lower center of gravity, and they can literally spin around you a lot quicker and easier than a tall striker. But he's got strength in him. He ain't no weakling. And not only that, he's in the right. He plays in the right place at the right time.
Like Son's proven that he can deputise for Kane though in the past. Not last season, but the seasons before, he proved that he could deputise for Kane.
Yeah, that was about 3 years ago. Like when Kane got injured, when he had his long-term injury, like he deputised now and again. It wasn't even like consistent because they went and got the other guy. What was his name? The Brazilian who's at Fulham. Vinicius. They brought Carlos Vinicius in, and like he started to play through the middle, like because Son said, like, don't get me wrong, I know Son can cover, but when you come up against top defenders, where now there's a lot of top defenders in this league, yeah, you would literally like it's Sonny gets bounced off. How many times last season did we see and he got slated for it when he had his back to goal, yeah. Right, he was struggling. He would like his first touch because like the defender's right over him. Like he was struggling.
He was injured last year though.
Yeah. Good. You know what? Like, all right, that. Put it this way, he said that he was injured. Then I think as a footballer, you're selfish. Then if you're injured, you shouldn't be playing. When there's clearly another player who can play in that position, if you turn around and say to the thing, I'm 60%, you can play me. Then like,
hey, Richarlison was injured.
I think he was playing because the club put him in a situation where he was almost forced to play rather than said, look, I need to play. I don't care if I'm. I think
you're spot on, right? I'll tell you the things that I know. Stel might know this, right? But there's times where I'll tell you this. There's time where the medical team have told the managers not to play them because they're not fit enough, and the manager still chooses them.
No, I know
So
that. I know that. And
it's not
our
always
medical
on the
team done
players.
that
Yeah,
all
the
the time.
hernia. You remember he smashed his face against Marseille in the Marseille match, and he was rushed. He was always rushed back, and he felt. I think he's that guy that felt bad to say no. I'm not going to play. Like he would
No,
never.
but
I
this is
think he
the
was
thing.
forced to play.
But even then, like now, like you play Sonny with his back to goal because that's what centre forward does. Players like Richarlison or Kane, that's what they're good at. Yeah, Sonny's not that player. The only way you can play Sonny in, and which Maddison might be the key for it, is basically playing those balls through like the last line of defence and him running onto him and scoring. Like that's the only way, like him to stay on the last line, and that's it.
If you're playing against a team that's high up, maybe someone who's on his toes, one pass away, going on goal, it might work out for him. Depends what kind of teams you're playing with. You've got teams that a lot of them now play aggressive football and they play with a high line. Other teams might just play a bit lower. So that's when you decide you pick on the individuals based also on the characteristics of the team and
absolutely. No, I agree.
I think so say for example the way Villa play tonight, Son would run rugged in the number 9, or Richarlison for the matter, because they want that space behind, don't they? So if Maddison and Bissouma, whoever else can play some decent balls in, these guys will have it on their toes and they'll be straight on goal. Against a low block team, I agree. You need somebody with a bit physical presence, someone that can hold it up and bring the midfielders in to then hit, get involved in that. And it depends on the characteristics. But you're right. Neither of the players really are good enough for the back to goal, holding the ball up and linking it up. It's more like a quick lay off the turn, and they want to be played in facing the goal. It's something that we need to work. It's going to be tough. Here we go. Look. It's going to be.
By the way, before we do this,
it's going to be an interesting few weeks.
Thank you for this super chat from London Broil. Appreciate the support. Thank you. This isn't me. This is Will Stewart in the background.
Big up, Will.
He's just taken over the show.
Does Will want to show the rest of the merch, or is he going to just stick it on the page? Come on, Will.
Where are you? I don't know. Maybe it's messing about.
Danny comes in, Danny comes out, Will comes in, Will goes out. Forget the live show. Just rock and roll TV, baby.
Do you know, honestly, tomorrow's though, you guys, what you were saying earlier, Matthew, if Davis is playing tomorrow, and what's his name? Mbuemo?
He ripped us a new one, man.
Yeah,
I was nearly in tears when I left the stadium.
Especially Iggy. It wasn't even just
in that home game.
Iggy. The main player he ripped apart was Ben Davis. It was Ben Davis.
And that side, and we was too busy dancing
him apart.
We was too busy dancing to Chaz and Dave at half time, and then I swear to God, it was like it was. I was so annoyed that if you, I don't know if you guys saw, man. I done an after straight. I left the stadium. I done a quick 3-4 minute video, mate. I was devastated, man, because it was like Chaz and Dave. I was there half time. It was 1-0. We wasn't convincingly, and I just thought to myself, you know what? Brentford is going to come out second half. I think they're just kind of stalling, waiting to see what we got to, and we didn't put. I knew we didn't. Us not finishing those chances. I was sitting there and I was looking around at half time, and Chaz and Dave playing, people there, it was like a party carnival atmosphere. Really, really, I didn't feel like I was involved in a league game. All right, it was the second. I know we didn't have much to play.
Oh, was it the video we did?
And
we said this is a disgrace.
Yeah.
The disgrace video.
And then I went, and then what happened at the end of the game? Before the final, just as the referee blows the whistle 3 times at the final whistle. After his first whistle, the music just blared up to the max, so any boos were drowned out. And then at the end, I was going downstairs and I could see the pubs all filling up, and I could see
like a dictatorship, isn't it?
The marketplace. Yeah, the marketplace was all filling up. The food, the fusion food, was all filling up. Going outside in the south stand where you got this massive, like almost like a park. It's like a real big spatial area. maxed out. You go towards it, go past the shop fronts. Never been more busier. Fucking, I done a video there and I thought we've just got ripped a new one, man, and no one seems to be fucking bothered about it. And I was, and that was
Yeah, I watched the videos
I
you
was in
guys
pain on
posted.
that video. It was there, man. Just go and have a look at it. The Spurs Brentford
Yeah, I've
3-1,
seen it.
man.
I actually watched it.
And I was like,
Oh, yeah.
fucking hell, man.
I
I'm like,
remember.
what's going on here? And I still, when I talk about Brentford even now, I still remember the feeling well. And I'm thinking to myself, if we don't get that right on our left-hand side, their right, our left. So whoever plays left back, whoever plays centre back, that side, got to be on it. I know we're probably likely to play Emerson on the right instead of Porro because it's a bit more defensively, more acute. So whoever plays left back, if it's Reguilon or Destiny, I don't know, man. It's one of those two. But both of them have good tendencies of going forward, less defensively. And then that partner to Romero, whoever, and the goalkeeper as well. So they've got so many people playing their first time for Spurs tomorrow. Me personally, I would probably play Sanchez next to Romero, but I'll probably throw VDV at left back and say, do you know what? Let's see how we handle it there. That's probably my because if I'm gonna,
do you know what?
Was that our last home game last season against Brentford?
Yeah, man, Brentford.
Yeah,
I still get chills.
Do you know what's funny? It's funny because Harry Kane never scored a free kick until that moment, right? And that was his last goal he scored. And he scores it, and we lose the game.
I couldn't believe it. I thought, and I think that's where the party atmosphere came.
It wasn't actually a free kick. It got laid off to him, didn't it? It was
No, just give it to him still.
yeah, true.
It was a. Have they got rid of that?
I blame Stowe for that because he gave me his ticket. Stowe weren't going to go last 24. And he goes to,
I said you
told me don't
go.
go. I said, you know what? If you're not going to go.
I said that. Listen.
Do you know what? Like, you imagine.
Go on,
sorry, still. Like, I've got a wicked season ticket. Like where I sit. Used to sit. I haven't been there for 3 years. But I had to renew my tickets every time, and I just sell them, put them back onto the actual. As soon as the club have sold theirs, I'll put my ones up. I've already sold the Liverpool, Man United, and Sheffield United games. I put them up, and within literally about 3-4 hours, the tickets went. They went, and where I sit is literally you got the box, the players' box, and the last 8 or 10 seats belong to the club, and that's where some of the players that are injured they'll come and sit. So I used to see Toby and all of them lots they used to come and sit there. So, but anyway, I got that season ticket and I haven't been to a game for over 3.5 years.
Right, yeah.
And literally, I have to sell. For last season, for the first 5 games or six games, I don't know, there was some issue. Like, I think the fans were pissed off about it. They couldn't sell the season, they couldn't sell the tickets. Literally, for the first 5 games, I had an empty seat there. And then suddenly, all of a sudden, bang. Like, I think we all started winning games, or don't know what. I can't even remember last season. It was 10. The first 10 games we won or drew, so it was our best ever. But I couldn't sell the seats. But when it started getting worse, I could.
From a Spurs point of view, though, whether you're there or whether someone else feels in your seat, they don't care. They where their seat is. That seat, someone's bum's on that seat, and that's all.
Yeah, but it's paid for anyway. It cost me 1,500 quid for the ticket.
Yeah.
And it has since I used to sit in the south stand before at the old White Hart Lane, like South Upper, and I used to sit with a group of guys, and they were just nutcases, nut jobs. And then literally when they originally said, right, okay, there's end of next season, you'll be able to renew your seat and pick where you want to sit. I just decided, I can't be bothered to sit on the south stand now. I want a prawn sandwich brigade seat. And I've got one, and it's just absolutely brilliant. Get to meet players, you get to meet even the players' families, or brothers or whatever. Eric died brother, by the way.
You're the problem. There you go.
You're the problem. Guys,
just to let you know, if anyone wants any tickets, just let me know.
Oh, now you've opened up a can of worms.
Nah, I don't go. I can't go still. I can't go, can I?
No. I mean, you're going to have about 400 people in the chat now. How do we contact H? How do we get in touch with
how do I contact H? Yeah, Twitter. Go and slide in his DMs.
Listen, guys, I just want to do a quick circuit. Everyone have your final say because I do need to wrap it up. It's almost been 3 hours because we've actually got a 3-4 hour watch along to do as well tomorrow, and it's just my whole life's been consumed by YouTube. It's ridiculous, so it's too much. Iggy, have your final say, and then we'll call it a night. It's almost been a 3 hour stream. I only wanted to come on for half an hour to have a rant.
No, listen. Tomorrow, above all else, we need to come away with the 3 points. I think. And if anything else, it would be an absolute. I don't know if I've got the mindset to deal with the defeat. So, whatever happens, however we play.
Iggy, how do you feel if we lose 4-1?
Why are you going to throw me that? Why are you going to throw me that curveball, man? No. Tomorrow we got to win.
Danny, I can answer that. Planned 2 hour stream tomorrow will be a 5 hour stream.
All about Enoch out.
We got to win tomorrow. And to be honest with you, man, if there was a player like, I know he's banned for a few months, but I would love us to get Ivan Toney, man. That's the player I would want to see at this club. But he's got to keep away from them Betty shop though. Can't be dealing with that.
Iggy, would you bet he's coming to Spurs?
Listen, I think it'd be a good fit for us.
Stop asking questions, man.
I think it'd be a good fit for us. I think I've ordered.
Daddy don't want the stream to end.
I've ordered players. And he's an hour ahead. And he's an hour ahead now.
Yeah,
he does this all the time. All the time, man.
Listen, tomorrow, the only thing that counts is winning. Nothing else will do for me. We need to set the tone right, and I think it would be good to get a win and get the 3 points because we've got a massive game ahead and the following week against Man United at home. So get to a good start, and then it takes the pressure away from the Man United game. If we lose 4-1, like that Dan just said, then how much pressure are we going to go into that Man United?
What a toxic YouTube that'll be.
Yeah, but the protest from a protest point of view, I don't know, man. I listen.
There's only so many streams you can do with the word Levy in the title. It's like it's not normal. Like every show we do, like Levy.
He must be looking at YouTube thinking, "Bloody hell, still not me again. Why you always after me?"
Mari, let me come to Mari. A man from Orlando. What's your final thoughts, Mari?
I am excited. Spurs football is back. Because I've just been tired talking about transfers that don't happen and the ones that do happen, and I just want to see the games played. So I'm excited to see the game tomorrow, win, lose, or draw, just to see the badge on the field tomorrow. So very, very excited. I want to see some new things. I think my player of the year is going to be Basuma. I think he's going to be big time. I also think Arrow getting this vice captain is really going to help. But even before that, I think he's going to have a big year. He made that apology, which most of our players should make apologies for last season. Romero was one of the very few who said, "Hey, I take accountability." So I think he's going to have a big year. I just want to see the continued front football identity. The defense, it is what it is. And I've changed my prediction. Enoch out FC 3, Brentford 2.
Oh, he shifted position. Maz, are you going to shift position as well?
No, I still think it's going to be a Desmond. Excited about tomorrow. Just excited to see what tactics.
By the way, sorry, Maz, for the American listeners, a Desmond means 2-2 because we'll say
2-2.
He did.
He came to Brooklyn. They did he came to the West Indian Caribbean parade. So I know who Desmond Tutu is. I actually know who
Well, now you know when people say tomorrow's going to be a Desmond, you know they mean 2-2.
2, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
Will
excited to see what Ange comes up with without Kane in the team. I'm excited to see really actually what he does with the defense in a proper, in a game that actually means something. So we'll see what happens.
The one and only Matt. What's your final thing? What's your final thoughts, Matt?
I think You asked me earlier in the week, and I thought 2-2, but I'm thinking after the Kane sale, I think we will win. I think with our backs against the wall. I remember when Kane came back late for training a couple of years ago, and we played Man City first game of the season, and we won. I've just got a feeling we'll win tomorrow. I'd like us to be on the front foot, playing their half, be aggressive, back our system, and I think Son will play. I think with the captain's armband, I think Son will play down the middle, and I think in Poster's system, you need a mobile centre forward. So I think Son will do well in this system. So back our players, play in their half, be aggressive, win the first ball, win the second ball. I'm going for 2-1.
Take your chances. Take your chances. For me, the biggest thing is
take your chances.
I think we'll create. I think it's just about whether we take our chances with the whichever forward we play with, and let's hope they don't wear that horrible kit either. Tomorrow, that away kit, that horrible one, I don't like.
I like it.
There you go. There's always one, isn't it? Always one.
Nice.
Young generation.
Young generation.
Millennials.
H, your final thoughts?
I think we're going to get slapped. I think 3-1. I think we'll start off good, but it's the counter that I'm scared of. If we play Van der Beek, then I think we've got a chance, to win. Yeah, because I think we need pace. Like if both of those two strikers are playing, I think we will lose. Yeah, but unless we have like Van der Beek, we need a quick player basically, like that would counter their speed. But otherwise, I don't. Do you know what? I'll be honest with you. I don't know. But I don't feel secure. Like with Kane's goals, normally you got Kane in the team. There's always a chance. At the moment, I don't know where our goals are going to go. Are going to have to be shared. But I'm more worried about the defense. And if that's the case, as you said, like he would have watched the team play, and he would have seen the high line that we play. They'll take advantage of it because they've got quick players. So I'll say 2-1, 3-1 Brentford, unfortunately.
2-1, 3-1 Brentford. Danny, a bun. Tottenham on tour.
I'm kind of similar to H in terms of if we have Van der Ven, we've got a much better chance of winning. I think there'll be a lot of goals from both sides. I think we're going to play that obviously that high line. I think they're going to break. I think they'll have a lot less chances than us, but a lot of teams need to be a lot more clinical against us. I think it'd be something like a 3-3. I think I can't say who would win. If someone's going to win, 3-2 maybe, but I've got no idea. I'm going with the safe bet of 3-3.
Sorry, I just want to add one more thing. I also think, in terms of fitness, I think Brentford are probably ahead of us.
That's the other reason why.
I don't think we've had a proper pre-season.
That's my biggest worry.
Richard just mentioned that. Paul, not Paul, Gary, Amazon, it's £6 for a purple and gold scarf. Get it on Amazon. By the way, you're not talking about kits. Got this dodgy Chinese knockoff. It's quite good, actually. This is the third kit. If anyone's let me try and make it bigger.
I actually like the third kit. Is that the official third kit you got there, or is it a knockoff?
The official
no, it's a knockoff. It's a knockoff. It's an official knockoff. Yeah,
the official rip-off. Yeah.
I actually like that.
Yeah, I like the kit.
Is that the H gate?
It's
that's the third kit. That's the third kit.
Yeah, it's
I prefer that to the home kit. I hate the red. I know, like AIA, they have to have. It's just part of their thing. So
the color's a bit weird, right? I thought it was going to be grey and black, but it's not. It's like mink. Gray? It's a mink. No, it's not grey. It's mink. I'll be honest with you. It's quite wild. It's quite a disgusting color. I'm not going to lie to you, but
it looks nice.
Yeah. But
Listen, man, The goalkeeper kit is the best kit. The goalkeeper shirt is the best
Yeah.
shirt. It was brilliant. I like the yellow one last year, and I like the blue one this year. If I'd ever buy a shirt, it would always the last season and this season, the goalkeeper shirt's been the best out of the lot.
If you get the actual real kit, it's £80. If you get the dodgy ones like this one, it's 20. So,
where did you get that from?
Let's advertise it.
I'll tell you
all right. Message me.
In 2 weeks, if you need to buy one.
Where did you get that? Where did you get that one from?
Open up a shop. In 2 weeks.
Elite kit is not too far.
Elite kit is 125 quid. Crazy.
I'm not going to change my prediction. I'm going to go 3-3. I think we're going to score by that defense. And do you know what, guys? It's not even about balls over the top. Crosses into the box. We're awful. We can't defend crosses. So,
and there's going to be a lot of them.
Yeah. Listen, just want to say a quick thank you to Brighton Hotspur channel member Tim Mann for the super chat, Donna Cullen with the super chats, and London Broad as well. Big up to you. Big up to all the panel tonight. Make sure you go and like and subscribe to Tottenham on Tour. Danny, Ben, Ryan, and Brian, and also to Tottenham Away. Like both channels. And tomorrow, what time's the game? 2:00. So we go live at 1:30 UK time for the watch along, and then we're doing a half an hour pre-game warm up, 2-hour show. And then, depending on the result, we're either going to go for another half an hour or 6 hours, depending on the result. That's normally how it works.
By the way, just to let you know, guys, you know the purple and gold scarves? You know, my cousin makes them. He's got a factory. Like, he actually makes, I don't know whether he actually does he makes scarves, football scarves. And you can have your face on it. He'll even do your face. Like, so.
I love that.
Like, so
what we'll do is we'll get an email link to the scarf of H or contact, and then we'll put it on our channel. And if Danny wants to put it on Tottenham Tour as well, they can do it as well.
No worries, man.
Nice boys.
Otherwise, guys, great show. Thanks as always. And let's go. Season starts for us tomorrow. Come on, the Spurs. Levy out, Enoch out, Donna Cullen out.
Donna's all right. She's been good to us on the channel.
Donna in.
She's a pit bull.
Take it easy, people.
So take it easy.
Guys, come on, you Spurs.
The first game we look for, Robbie. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away.